इन द मेन
repeat.
बोल दियो, रिपीट रिपीट कर दियो तू.
हाँ, basically,
And you were
uh,
no, and your family members were not present or what?
actually, yeah, no, they went. They aren't even in town. And I basically, दो तीन मैंने सेमीफाइनल भी पूरा देखा. And
हम्म.
I got hooked onto the semi-final ka whole story because whoever I was watching it with, they were telling me the backstory. Shami has been killing it for the last couple of matches and this and that, and they were explaining ki, and I saw the whole semi-final and I got hooked on, and so I was like, chalo, final to dekhna hi hai. And final I saw like religiously, like properly. I
हम्म.
saw like from start to end every ball kya ho raha hai, and then I
नहीं.
realized that I never had an opinion about who these commentators are and what are they saying. You get it? Like I've heard commentary and I used to think they must be making sense, but
नहीं.
नहीं भाई.
Never did.
सबसे बड़ा
yeah,
स्कैम है दुनिया का ये
I
कमेंट्री.
swear यार, इतना हंसा मैं पहली बार हंसा
हाँ.
हूँ लाइफ में इतना तेज. वो लोग
तो
क्या क्या नहीं बोले. हिंदी भी
हिंदी.
देखा, फिर मैंने इंग्लिश भी देखा.
हम्म.
I tried both and I realized.
हिंदी में तो गौतम गंभीर आग उगलता है ना, जहर जहर अपना उगलता है वो
एक बात बताओ,
वहां पे.
हिंदी और इंग्लिश का वर्जन में नॉट ओनली कमेंट्री बट द एडिट इज आल्सो डिफरेंट, राइट? बिकॉज
कभी कभी
हिंद
डिफरेंट होता है क्योंकि दे समटाइम्स द कमेंटेटर्स लीड द एडिट, लाइक दे
या
विल, आप ये देखिए फिर से, एंड
हाँ
काइंड ऑफ अ
आई
थिंग.
थिंक प्रोड्यूसर पूरी टीम ही अलग होगी, आई एम अज्यूमिंग. मतलब जो लाइव एडिट जो कर रहे होंगे वो
या
पूरी टीम ही अलग होगी, आई एम अज्यूमिंग. But but how did you find the experience? For context, Himanshu has never watched a single sporting event in his entire life, mostly. तो तुझे ये कैसा लगा to follow this properly and all that?
I realized a lot of things about the game which I had never thought about. And one of the main thing is how patient the players have to be. You
Hmm.
know, कि मतलब बॉल पे बॉल आ रहा है और तुम्हें बस डिफेंड करना है. यू कांट इवन टेक अ रन. यू रियली हैव टू जस्ट हिट इट लो एंड जस्ट सिट एंड जस्ट स्टैंड बेसिकली.
या या.
दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई डोंट नोटिस. लाइक आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि चौके छक्के लगते हैं और फिर भागना पड़ता है. बट द अदर साइड इज दैट यू रियली हैव टू लाइक होल्ड योर ग्राउंड आल्सो, राइट?
या.
तो इनिशियली व्हेन आई वाज वाचिंग इट ना, आई वाज थिंकिंग कि यार केएल राहुल खेल ही नहीं रहा. 80 बॉल्स पे उसने 20 रन मारे, मतलब हो क्या रहा है? तो आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि आई हैड अ जजमेंट, आई हैड एन ओपिनियन कि दिस इज नॉट अ गुड, ही इज नॉट अ गुड प्लेयर, आई थॉट. बट और ही इज नॉट प्लेइंग वेल because this is the first time I'm seeing him ना. तो then later on
केएल
when
राहुल का सिचुएशन इस दुनिया में, इस देश में रहा है दैट basically we are the most toxic fan base in the world, okay? The Indian cricket team fan base, because KL Rahul ko people have like wished death on him. People have really like bullied him for the past 2 years. Then he actually was keeping ये मैच को छोड़ के
ये मैच को छोड़ के, हाँ.
भाई इतना सही उसने खेला था. बैटिंग वाइज, कीपिंग वाइज, he looked like, bro, we don't need Rishabh Pant or anybody else.
Yeah.
He was doing very well. But then last match में उसने he bought back lest anyone forget the vintage KL Rahul. He bought that guy back थोड़ा
पर
सा.
मुझे लगता है कि
Yeah.
भाई, if we are discussing this now,
Yeah, yeah.
आई फील लाइक कोहली और केएल राहुल का जो स्लो एकदम कर दिया था ना उन्होंने बीच में, एक
Hmm.
तो इट वाज नेसेसरी बिकॉज एंड इट वाज वेरी क्लियर फ्रॉम हु केम नेक्स्ट कि क्यों भाई वो लोग टुक टुक कर रहे थे, क्योंकि दे आल्सो न्यू.
Surya came next, right?
भाई स्काई मतलब, एंड दीज पीपल, फॉर कॉन्टेक्स्ट हिमांशु, ये अभी तक जितने मैचेस हुए ना, वी हैव
हाँ
नेवर हैड टू रिलाई बियॉन्ड थ्री फर्स्ट फोर प्लेयर्स.
हाँ.
सारे मैचेस, ऑलमोस्ट सारे मैचेस में वी हैव वन द गेम विदाउट गोइंग अप टू लाइक जडेजा और स्काई
Hmm.
और एनीबडी. तो
हम्म.
अभी एंड 10 के 10 मैच ऐसे ही जीते हम लोग. बट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम आई थॉट दे रियलाइज कि भाई इसके बाद कोई है नहीं,
कोई नहीं है.
ये
Yeah.
पिच बहुत फकौल है. तो तुम
ये
लोग एकदम टुक टुक, एंड आई वुड एक्चुअली, आई वाज हैप्पी बिकॉज ये लोग टुक टुक कर रहे थे. आई एक्चुअली थॉट कि भाई अगर कोहली और ये खेल जाते तो 280-90 बन
So
जाते.
there was a point in the match where Australia's batting innings and India's batting innings are identical.
Yeah.
I think that's where the difference lay. For example, there was Travis Head was also about 40 or 44 balls or something, and Labuschagne was about 10 or 40 balls. ऐसा
Yeah.
कुछ तो था. Dude, the same thing was the case in the Indian innings where Kohli was about 40 run a ball and KL Rahul was KL Rahul. So basically, वो scene tha. It's just that after that, Kohli got out and everyone shat their pants. Basically, ideally, it could have still been a good score because
Yeah.
Sky just did. एक तो Sky had never got an opportunity in this whole tournament to do anything क्योंकि सब लोग फोड़े जा रहे हैं. पहले पांचों बैट्समैन 50-50 मार रहे हैं तो
हाँ.
उसको 3-4 ओवर मिलता था. He never got a time to set in. This was the day for him to fucking show up, but just did not work. So
Bhai, also
yeah, very sad.
the bowlers really attacked Sky. Yeah? They were like, we know how to screw with his
उसको
happiness.
पढ़ लिया था. They
उसको
completely read him.
Pura. And Himanshu, for context, he's known as Mr. 360. So
Because he मारो पीछे also, right?
पीछे आगे सब जगह. And his favorite shots when he can't think of anything else is ulta पीछे.
I saw that graphic where all the they show it na ki look at all the shots he marred in that piche wala area, and then they just show what is it called there, back
क्या चीज रिवर्स स्वीप. Are you talking about reverse sweep? पर वो रिवर्स स्वीप नहीं, वो तो सीधा, वो तो कुछ भी करता है भाई.
कुछ भी करता है, उसका नाम भी नहीं है.
पुल शॉट को वो एक्स्ट्रा खींच के पीछे मार देता है बेसिकली. तो
अच्छा
उसको क्या बोलोगे आप?
एक बात बताओ, मुझे ना बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं है, जीरो कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, एकदम फालतू क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ मैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, मैं पहली बार सूर्या का नाम सुना मैंने yesterday, ठीक है. आई हैड नो आइडिया हु ही वाज बिफोर. मुझे बस यही तो 2-3 लोगों के नाम पता थे. तो जैसे my question was, who is this guy, how did he come, has he been playing for long, is this something, did I miss the boat on these people, the new generation? Have they been playing for a long time, or is it like एकदम new people or what?
Few years.
अच्छा 2-3 साल से they have been there, and you know
भाई
that you...
Sky Surya Kumar is number 1 batter I think in T20s.
In T20, so the whole Surya Kumar Yadav का बहुत ही interesting एक storyline रही है that if Virat Kohli doesn't exist, Surya Kumar Yadav is Virat Kohli. Basically, this was a popular theory floated that basically Sky was so good. He was there in the IPL since same age almost in लोगों की, and he was there in the IPL since a while, but he never got a chance to play up top, even though he was very good. He used to get a chance to play at 5-6 number पे, even in IPL. वो पहले कोलकाता में था. Before Mumbai bought him, made him a top order batter, and then he fucking exploded like in nobody's business, right? So he's been like a complete match winner in T20. और उससे मतलब he's generally one of the best T20 batsmen. But the whole debate this time was, do we import T20 batsmen from ODI, or do we use ODI batsmen for ODI? So this time they tried, and I guess yeah.
Basically T20 का difference है कि तुम्हें फोड़ना पड़ता है, right? That's the thing. It's like they call it power play. I just
भाई तेरा पूरा टेम्पो ही बदल जाता है. तेरा पूरा देख. So basically the idea is in a T20, just to explain to you, मतलब सबको बाकी सबको पता है.
I know. हाँ.
पहले 6 ओवर T20 में होते हैं power play, which is only 2 fielders outside the circle, right? The 50 ओवर में वो 10 ओवर जाता है power play. But 50 ओवर में there are 3 power plays, तो उसका अलग combination है. But the point is, in a T20 match, अगर तू if you are at over number 5, right, you can just keep going bang bang, because it doesn't matter if you get out by over number 9. But if you do that in ODI, भाई तो 30 और ओवर बाकी है उसके बाद, तो you can't afford to just throw your wicket. And just like
ये
that.
पाकिस्तान का bowling side में भी हुआ था कि their bowlers are very good T20 bowlers, they're really fast. लेकिन भाई
उनके लिए तो एम्बुलेंस लगती है यार, हर मैच में उनके लिए एम्बुलेंस बुलानी पड़ती है. कुछ भी होता है
तो वो लोग भाई 10 ओवर स्पेल डालने के आदी ही नहीं है, तो दे गॉट लाइक 7 ओवर एग्जॉस्टेड. हाँ भाई, एंड ये एक्चुअली हुआ कि वो एकदम सीधी गेंद डाल रहे भाई, वो कोई भी पढ़ ले, कोई भी मार ले. इसीलिए तो भाई किस से हारे भाई, वो रैंडम कंट्री से हारे. वो तो अफगानिस्तान से हार गए भाई.
Dude, one of the most iconic moments of this World Cup, Afghanistan, after beating Pakistan, did a victory lap of the stadium. What the fuck? Sick भाई. Group stage match है. But I feel उनके लिए हाँ वही, उनका भी काफी लफड़ा चल रहा है ना पाकिस्तान के साथ.
हाँ उनका
किसका नहीं चल रहा है पाकिस्तान का इशू, किस इंसान को नहीं है. Anyway. So so that matlab we can continue talking about cricket, but welcome to episode 106 of the Disscontent podcast. We're back on a live stream after a while, and good to be back after. आप लोगों ने तो देख लिया, अब तो हम बड़े लोग बन चुके हैं क्योंकि हम लोग अब स्टूडियो सेटअप मल्टी कैम करते हैं, तो उसमें अब अभी अगली बार से वही होगा. बेसिकली वी विल फ्लाई आउट हिमांशु एवरी टाइम वी हैव टू डू एन एपिसोड, और हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करेंगे स्टूडियो में. Let's just take some comments. Himanshu Arya and DG have said moe moe, whatever that means. This is apparently a meme जो मेरे को हिमांशु ने बोला अभी recently.
Yeah, I saw the meme. I laughed a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos.
No, not had the pleasure.
Trending.
I've seen, yeah.
चलो ठीक है.
The only one that I found funny, which I've also reposted, is where Ronaldo AI is asking Modi AI, Modi ji, एक बात पूछूं? एंड ही इज लाइक, हाँ पूछो ना रोनाल्डो भाई. एंड देन ही सेज, ये स्टेडियम में इतना शांत क्यों है? एंड देन मोदी स्टार्ट सिंगिंग मोही मोही.
भाई इमेजिन, आई कांट. भाई जितना डेकोरेशन, आई थिंक जो भी हु वाज द इंचार्ज ऑफ द
तेरा
इवेंट
सीरीज.
प्लानर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल ना, भाई उसका आधा बजट तो स्लैश ही हो गया, उसका आधा पेचेक ही स्लैश हो जाएगा. क्योंकि आई एम श्योर इफ इंडिया वाज गोना विन, मोदी वुड हैव डन सम क्रेजी हिस्ट्रियोनिक्स विद द टीम, और मतलब पता नहीं
भाई
कैसे अवार्ड प्रेजेंटेशन करते,
अरे
मतलब पूरा हार्नेस पहना के उड़ा के जिस
ड्रोन
तरीके
शो
से ये
हुआ
लोग
है,
कर रहे थे
वो
इसमें.
ड्रोन शो देखा तुम लोगों ने पीछे?
फ्लाइट का शो हुआ था. अच्छा हाँ,
फ्लाइट
ड्रोन शो
भाई,
देखा.
प्लेन एयरफोर्स उड़ा दी भाई.
अरे वो
एयरफोर्स
भी हुआ है, एक बहुत ही
तो
सुंदर ड्रोन शो था विच बट दैट ड्रोन शो सजेस्टेड that it was meant for India's victory because it was like India का map and India का flag and India का
लॉल.
thing and I was like जीता तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया है ना,
या.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया
भाई
का उन्होंने सोचा भी था ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैप डालना है वहां पे।
भाई और अहमदाबाद के लोग इतने हरामी, वो लोग निकल गए भाई स्टेडियम से
हाँ
जैसे ही
हाँ,
मैच
निकल
खत्म
गए.
निकले. कोई वेट नहीं किया भाई. कोहली को मैन ऑफ द मतलब प्लेयर ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट मिला है, ठीक है भाई, हार गए कोई नहीं. सब निकल गए, खाली हो गया
ब्रो,
है.
आई डोंट माइंड, बिकॉज भाई एक सेकंड, 70 करोड़ लोग के स्टेडियम में अगर मेरे को बाहर निकलना है, जो ट्रैफिक उधर होगा
कोई
ना,
बात
जितने लोग आए थे, मैं तो डूड इफ आई वाज देयर, एक तो आई फेल्ट अ सेंस ऑफ रिडेम्पशन, बिकॉज आई वाज इन दिस प्लेस लास्ट ईयर T20 वर्ल्ड कप मैंने ऑस्ट्रेलिया में था मैं, और मैंने उसके फाइनल टिकट लिए थे. एंड डूड, इट टर्न आउट टू बी एन इंग्लैंड वर्सेस पाकिस्तान फाइनल. और भाई जो दिमाग खराब हुआ था, मैं फिर भी गया था मैच देखने, सोच तो.
किसको
एंड
सपोर्ट किया तूने?
दिस टाइम भाई मैंने, मतलब मैं न्यूट्रल ब्लैक कलर की टी शर्ट, जो टू बी फ्रैंक अगर इंडिया मैच होता तो ही मैं वही पहन के जाता, बट या आई वाज न्यूट्रल, आई वाज मोर सपोर्टिंग पाकिस्तान, क्योंकि इंग्लैंड कैन फक इटसेल्फ. सो वो एक चीज थी, बट आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी दैट और भी लोगों के पैसे बर्बाद हुए इसमें. भाई कितने पैसे, लाख लाख 2-2 लाख भरे थे लोगों ने
हाँ
Bro,
भाई.
people
टिकट
go
टिकट
and
से.
watch every match in every city. They do a tour, like a trip around the
Few people
country.
do it, not a
हम्म.
lot of people do it भाई.
मैं तो जानता हूँ किसी को, किसी ने किया है, मैंने
वो
उस पे
हैं?
पूरा
वो तू
स्टोरी देखा।
उसको जानता है, जो वो अपने सर पे वर्ल्ड कप बांध के, जो सचिन तेंदुलकर का जो पेंट
नहीं भाई,
करके आता
एक
है, वो
एक
बंदा.
रेगुलर पर्सन
हाँ.
जो
Regular
जिसने
पर.
who traveled around the country and watched every match and I have a feeling a lot of people did it because India
रेगुलर
hosted
मारवाड़ी
so
पर्सन.
हाँ रेगुलर क्यों मारवाड़ी
Where
क्यों?
did that come from?
अरे मुझे मुझे लग, अरे
You
आई.
meant rich. You meant to say
हाँ
rich.
रिच.
Are Marwadis like the Jew stereotype of India?
यस आई थिंक सो.
Do you think so?
देव
I'm
नेवर
no, I'm
हैड.
genuinely I'm asking from an what would you, anthropological lens, not a racist lens. हाँ. हिमांशु तू बता. Anyway, let's move on.
क्या कमेंट्स है भाई? कमेंट्स देख लेते हैं थोड़ा.
भाई बहुत सही कमेंट, सो बहुत सारे आ गए ऑलरेडी. watching this pod and calling it a day for studying for exams. भाई प्लीज
भाई
पढ़ ले
सब
यार. कौन सा एग्जाम है? वो बता दो. डिपेंड्स ऑन विच एग्जाम, मतलब व्हाट इफ इट्स एन आई एग्जाम, लाइक ठीक है, उसके लिए
भाई पीटी का
पढ़.
एग्जाम है तो कोई बात
हाँ.
नहीं.
हाँ
आज
फिर
ही
ठीक है.
कर लो.
कंडीशंस वर डिफरेंट इन द सेकंड इनिंग्स. गुड पॉइंट अर्नब कुंडू. बट
बट
मैं
दैट इज
अपने
ट्रू.
दिल को कैसे समझाएं भाई हम लोग अब ये सब चीजें कि कंडीशंस वर. इट
पर
वाज ट्रू, दैट्स व्हाई आई चोज टू bowl first.
पर तुम्हें लग बट तुम लोगों को लगता है कि अगर इंडिया सेकंड, सिर्फ एवरीथिंग एल्स वो रिमेन्स द सेम, बट वी हैड बैटेड सेकंड, had we would we have won? I think we would.
Yeah, I think so, because again it did not turn out to be a batting innings. वो भी Travis
Yeah.
head चल गया, but that also was after a lot of setting in. It
Correct,
took him
correct.
also 60 balls to start going above a strike rate of 100.
And apparently
So
the Dew
yeah,
factor
it was difficult.
happened. The
Yeah,
Dew factor.
Yeah,
the
this is
due
something
factor
I
was
heard
there.
somebody
Yeah.
explained it very well to me कि देखो क्या होता है ना, मिट्टी होती है ना, पहले ड्राई होती है तो धूप उस पे ना बाउंस नहीं खाता, उसके बाद जब ड्यू होता है ना शाम को, उसके बाद इट बिकम्स हार्ड एंड ऑल एंड देन
The other thing is with dew, the ball gets wet literally, and it's harder for the bowler to also grip the ball and bowl ekdam accurately. That also, plus another thing is then the ball goes faster towards the boundary also if there is dew.
बहुत
तो ये
डिफरेंस होगा
सब
ना फिर
चीजें.
अहमदाबाद का ड्यू एंड श्रीलंका का ड्यू एंड पाकिस्तान का, मतलब देयर विल बी अ डिफरेंस इन द
भाई
वेदर.
भाई ये हुआ था एक्चुअली पिछले मैच में, जो एक्चुअली बड़ा सरप्राइजिंग था, क्योंकि वानखेड़े में ड्यू नहीं था पिछले बार.
where it normally it's very
या
very
क्योंकि भाई
dewy.
इतना ह्यूमिड है, ड्यूई है, लेकिन भाई अहमदाबाद जो एकदम ड्राई, मतलब लिटरली ड्राई स्टेट है.
हर्षा का बहुत ही खराब जोक है और मेरे को बहुत फनी लगा, which is माउंटेन ड्यू के आगे जीत है. So sorry but it's funny. Come on Harsha, I'm with you. Okay. A few more comments we'll take before
हर्षा
anything.
सब्सक्राइबर है ना, तो हंसो सालो.
हाँ, hey, yes, Harsha is a nice guy. Or
Yeah.
woman, I don't know. So Harsha is one of those names that goes both ways.
Yeah, I think it's a guy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So,
a guy, dude. You guys don't know what he's in.
okay.
He's in the group
I
chat.
know he's in the group. How do I? I'm not assuming. So, wait. Shreya Roy said, firstly, I want to ask how to be alive as a person who doesn't like cricket. Shreya Roy, I think most Indians today don't like cricket anymore. So, we're all with you. There was some Mr. Pink, nice to see you again. There was some conspiracy going on KL and Hardik. They didn't want World Cup under Sharma Kohli. Yeah, ये मेरे को भी सबसे ज़्यादा whenever India is losing a match now, the best thing I feel for Indian audiences, they immediately, especially if you're watching in a group, immediately conspiracy ढूंढते हैं कि क्या, what are the angles. कोहली को नहीं चाहिए कि शर्मा की कैप्टनसी के अंडर जीते क्योंकि उसके कैप्टनसी के अंडर नहीं जीते.
एक वो याद है, युवराज के फादर का एक इंटरव्यू है जिसमें कहता है कि धोनी ने तो हरवाया है 2019 वर्ल्ड.
Yeah. Dude, you know, Yuvraj Singh has distanced himself from his father.
Yeah.
Yogaraj Singh. Wasn't Yogaraj Singh also in Bhag Milka Bhag? Do you think Yuvraj Singh can't watch Bhag Milka Bhag because it gives him PTSD? Like, यही मेरे साथ हुआ है, पापा. Okay.
भाई ये क्या बोल रहा था मैं? Fuck, I forgot. Beer Biceps के पॉडकास्ट में उसने बोला है कि my father has a mental issue. He's not willing to accept it, but he has.
Oh shit.
He said it.
But dude,
why are you laughing?
No, but he like it's so candid, यार. कोई ऐसे कौन बोलेगा कि मेरे बाप को mental health issue है, but he doesn't know it.
But to
it's
be honest,
not. No, you can say it. It's nothing wrong to like.
What do you mean?
अरे public figure है, बता रहा है क्या.
नहीं भाई, वो ये हिसाब से बोल रहा है कि मेरा बाप पागल है, वो ये बोल रहा है because he doesn't like his father. They are very openly against each other.
Fair enough ना, अगर पता है openly है तो फिर क्या ही छुपाना है. अब वो अलग बात है कि बेयर भाई सबका पॉडकास्ट कोई ढंग की जगह नहीं है सब बोलने.
भाई उसने वो रोल, मैंने एक वीडियो देखा था उसमें वो रोल खा रहा था, वो काठी रोल या शॉर्मा कुछ खा रहा था. और
इतना चिल हो गए क्या लोग? हम भी हो सकते हैं उतना चिल.
देख गाइस, नाउ वी डू दिस पॉडकास्ट राइट, इट इज क्लियरली एड हॉक. फिर भी हम लोग एक बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर हम लोग लेके, जैसे हमने बलराम के एपिसोड किया, हम लोग एक बेसिक उसमें स्ट्रक्चर लेके, वी वांट टू टॉक अबाउट व्हाट बलराम डज, थिंग्स वी लाइक अबाउट हिज कंटेंट, ऑल ऑफ दैट, देन वी विल गो इनटू मामी, देन वी विल गो इनटू द ओवरऑल व्हाटएवर. तो मतलब ये लोग कभी कभी बियर बाइसेप्स का ऐसा वो वीडियो था, युवराज सिंह, भाई युवराज सिंह आया तेरे पास, उसको पूछा क्या खाना पसंद है, अच्छा दाल पसंद है कि कड़ी चावल पसंद है या राजमा भाई क्या है यार, ये कैसे सवाल है भाई. कोई प्रेप, मतलब तेरे पास तो पैसा है ना भाई, तेरे पास तो पूरी टीम है, प्रेप करके आओ, थोड़ा तो प्रेप करके आओ, क्या हो गया. एनीवे, okay, less bitching, more discussion. Yes.
Bro, तुम लोगों को होप था लास्ट तक?
नहीं भाई, एक बार वो जब 100 रन बना लिए ना उन्होंने, 100 पे 3 थे, तो मैं कहा भाई अब हो गया, अब इससे अब दैट्स इट, बिकॉज दे वर सो वेल सेट बाय दैट टाइम. लग ही रहा था कि भाई ये लोग टच में, अभी आउट भी हो गए तो हैं भाई आगे. इट्स नॉट वाजंट अ थिंग ओनली.
Shaurya Pathak has a killer comment. Yuvraj Yogaraj biopic coming up. Animal. What the fuck? Nice one. Good joke. 44 people here. Thank you guys for joining us. Subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Also, we're doing something special today. The special part is that Mr. Martin Scorsese की नई मूवी आई है, Killers of the Flower Moon, जिसकी बुक यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो. और डेविड फिंचर की नई मूवी आई है, The Killer, which is on Netflix. We will discuss both of them. And before we discuss both of them, we have, as some of you might know, we have a channel membership going on, and the rewards for the channel memberships are, there are 2 channel membership tiers, broker and party. Broker may you get to come into our WhatsApp group, which is a WhatsApp group of a bunch of listeners of the Disscontent podcast and us, and we discuss movies. And जैसे कल मैच हो रही थी भाई, जो live chat हो रही थी उस WhatsApp group में, was a lot of fun. I feel like it's that way. It's if you're looking for if you come from a place you don't have anyone to talk to about films or just in general about content, join the group, join our membership, join the group, support our channel. But if you become a party member, which is a little more expensive, you get to appear on the channel and discuss great movies like these with us. So today we have 2 of those guys, Avinash and Rohan, who are our party members. Firstly, thank you guys for the support. Guys, chal bhai, thank you bolo bhai. Thank you. And we're going to have them on the podcast to talk about the both their opinion on Killers of the Flower Moon and The Killer, and we will then carry on with the discussion and we will continue. But तो तुम लोग कैसे करना है शुरू? पहले हम लोग अपने अपने दे दें या कैसे? या continue on World Cup for a bit if you want to.
No, let's start. I mean, I think we should get into the movies now because हमने काफी बात कर ली वर्ल्ड कप.
अरे एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ वर्ल्ड कप के बारे में. आज का दिन तुम लोगों ने नोटिस किया एक ओवरऑल क्राउड का या लाइक सोसाइटल क्राइसिस कुछ फील हुआ?
हाँ भाई बहुत ज्यादा मेरे को अभी फील हो रहा है भाई. मैं रो के आया हूँ अभी.
क्या बात है?
हाँ भाई 2003 was my first ever like not even making this up. 2003 final World Cup was my first memory of tears. I was 7 years old. It is my first, मतलब रोया तो होऊंगा but I just remember that still. वो दिन मेरे को वो सेटिंग याद है और मेरा टीवी घर का याद है और मुझे सब लोग बैठे हुए हैं और पूरा देश शांत हो गया. मतलब वो मेरे को याद है. That was just a crazy feeling जिसको आज वापस से ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने ही याद दिला दिया. इसीलिए never underestimate Australia. Also always try for Australia का citizenship. That is something because अगर आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सिटीजन बन जाए then आप क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप तो हारे नहीं हो. फिर तो आप जीते हो. फिर आप 6 बार जीत चुके हो.
Retrospectively जीत गए ना.
Then who is Thala and who is Kohli? So yeah, there is one king and his name is Charles because they're still they are still वो है ना उसके हेड ऑफ स्टेट अभी भी वो है.
कॉमनवेल्थ में है ना वो लोग. हम लोग भी तो है
कॉमनवेल्थ. डोमिनियन स्टेटस जो भी जो जिसको
थोड़ा ज्यादा कनाडा एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया ना स्टिल देयर.
न्यूजीलैंड आल्सो दे हैव द सेम. उनके पास यूनियन जैक अभी भी है ना उनके फ्लैग में. या डल्ले. हम तो नहीं रखते भाई ऐसा. वर्ल्ड कप तुम रखो. हम लोग अपनी प्राइड रखते हैं.
When the queen died ना I remembered like our flag was in half mast or something in the parliament.
It was in mourning.
Yeah,
and I was
that,
like
which was very cringe.
क्या जरूरत है? इतना जरूरत था क्या कि हम लोग को अपना फ्लैग हमारे पार्लियामेंट में मॉर्निंग हाफ मास्ट पे डालना?
भाई ये जैसे बीजेपी वाले जो बोलते हैं कि you know in 1947 नेहरू और like Gandhi used to be very cowardly in front of white people like on a personal level or be very submissive. If not cowardly is wrong, sorry, not cowardly. They used to be submissive a little bit but on an interpersonal level. Bhai, I don't think it was unique to those people. It's just Indians in general. Okay, भाई इन लोग ने भी तो कर ही दिया ना. हाफ मास्क पे कर दिया. अब तो रूल भी नहीं है उनका. तो आई थिंक इट्स जस्ट अ कल्चरल थिंग. हम लोग से होता नहीं है.
इनफैक्ट मुझे याद है याद तो नहीं है बट पढ़ा है मैंने.
याद है इंदिरा गांधी. हाँ भाई
बट हेनरी किसिंजर और वो कौन था दूसरा यार जो उनका वो था जो अभी भी जिंदा है बाय द वे ना. हेनरी किसिंजर स्टिल लाइक बाय द वे.
हेनरी किसिंजर 100 साल का आदमी है. 100 साल जिया है भाई.
And they hated Indira and Indira was actually very standoffish with them.
Yeah.
Nixon,
yeah, of course.
बहुत ज्यादा.
वो इसने ट्रेलर कंगना ने अपने ट्रेलर में ही डाला था अपने इंदिरा वाली मूवी. उसकी मूवी का क्या हुआ
क्या मालूम.
अभी 2024 में निकल रही है. जब मतलब जानबूझ के देखा 2023 में निकल रही थी पहले इस साल.
भाई मैंने लास्ट ईयर उसका ट्रेलर देखा था.
हाँ, it was supposed to come out this year, then they pushed it and they pushed it to 2024.
Bharat, you showed me this trailer, buddy.
I think no, I don't remember when it's gonna come out is all.
Okay, a couple of pointers that people have pointed out. Party members, yeah, Omkar has made good comment. And also he is plugging our membership program. So I will read it out, which is party members can behave like Modi behaved in Modi, which is a great point. Ponting 3 World Cups is better than Tendulkar. Today I feel so. Yeah, bro. Shaurya said that. मतलब आप खेलते तो World Cups के लिए हो ना. I think that's what Indian players will always be recognized for their achievements on a personal level. But when it comes to I'm not blaming them for that, but like when it comes to a full unit, other teams are turn out to be more cohesive at the very least.
Bro, think about it, na? Like Modi ji went into the jersey room, the
dressing room,
the dressing room, and he hugged the players and they cried and all.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like Manmohan Singh or someone doing that? Can you imagine anybody else doing it? Any other prime minister?
I don't think
it makes no sense, na? Like then it's just this guy. That's why.
Also, it's more than being cringe, which it definitely is cringe, but it is also like kind of cruel because it's like, bhai, ye log, you saw how Rohit Sharma and Kohli and all walked inside. They were like crying. Okay. that मतलब they would have imagined कि हो गए सारे media commitments, अभी हम लोग जा रहे हैं dressing room में to fucking just go to bed or whatever, right? And let's just be in that fucking moment. भाई ये आ गया एक और, ये प्रेस भाई इनके लिए तो वो डिग्निटरी आ गया ना जिससे मिलना है अभी,
हाँ
एक और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ गई, मीडिया रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. तो
पर
इट्स
ऐसा नहीं
जस्ट
होना
फकिंग
चाहिए था.
स्टूपिड.
इट वुड हैव बीन गुड हैड इट बीन नॉट पब्लिसाइज्ड, यू नो.
नहीं, you publicize it, देख it's fine. When India won the World Cup in 2011, they did a photo shoot outside India Gate in Bombay,
या
Gateway of India, sorry, in Bombay. And they मतलब उन्होंने पूरा, मनमोहन सिंह was also there, I think, ऐसा कुछ तो था, but I think so.
नहीं,
But
मनमोहन था
but
नहीं.
whatever, Manmohan Singh met them, so I think you could have called them to your house
हाँ
after a week, you know,
नहीं, आई एम सेइंग
not
अगर
like in that
सेलिब्रेशन,
moment.
अगर
Yeah.
सेलिब्रेशन में इन द मोमेंट करो तो अच्छा है.
Hmm.
उसमें भी मैं कहूंगा यूर हॉगिंग द लाइमलाइट, फाइन. बट ठीक है,
Yeah.
तुम सेलिब्रेशन में शामिल हो रहे हो, फोटो वोटो खींच रही हैं, बट भाई रो रहा है इंसान. शमी बेचारा
Yeah.
फोटो में भी लग रहा है रो रहा है.
मेरे को
तो
नहीं लग रहा वो रो रहा था भाई, वो हंस रहा था, बट उसको बोला गया भाई मुंह छुपाओ यार, ये
मुझे
सब
खा
हंसो
लेना.
मत. हाँ. तो also the very politically astute this thing to hold Shami, because last time Shami was the one who was trolled by IT cell online.
मोदी हैज
So
बीन वेरी काइंड ऑन शमी ना, दिस लाइक ऐसा दो तीन बार एक और पोस्ट डाला
he
था
also,
शमी को यार
भाई
बाद.
मतलब उसका, Mohammad Shami has had such a, he I think him and Kohli especially just had such a perfect World Cup. Dude, Kohli was averaging 100 runs. So like, how do you compete with
भाई
that?
हारने वाले गेम में भी वही चला है बेसिकली, वो और रोहित शर्मा मैं कहूंगा.
Exactly. रोहित शर्मा I wouldn't blame, even though
या
मतलब
आई
ऑलरेडी
डोंट.
6 और 4 आ चुका था, वैसे अगर बोलने को तो बोल सकता है कोई, पर
I know.
पर
उसका प्लान सिंपल रहता है, जो हर हर गेम में सेम प्लान रहता है उसका,
हाँ.
कि 10 ओवर में 80 रन होने चाहिए. मैं नहीं जानता कैसे होंगे, बस होने चाहिए, हो जाने
Okay.
चाहिए.
So
That-
now 26 minutes into this, now I think we should uh stop about the cricket and go
पावर
back to
प्ले
the
खत्म.
movies. Power play khatam. Now go into the
80
movies.
रन हो गए. हाँ.
Yeah. Okay. So which one do we do first? Killer or Killers of the Flower Moon? Actually, we should get our guest for today, and
So
we can.
so
Yeah.
just for clarity, we will talk about both movies, and the guests will, I mean, Avinash and Rohan will talk about both movies, right? That's how.
Yeah, I think so. Matlab, we can
Cool.
get their views on both movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let's start with one, na. Let's start with like Killers or something. Killers of the
cool,
Flower.
cool.
नहीं, let
You
them
all,
come in ना.
Okay, cool.
फिर जैसे वो बोले.
हाँ, मेहमान को पूछ ले भरत, ऐसे सीधा चाय मत सर्व कर, तू पहले पूछ कॉफी चाहिए या चाय चाहिए.
ठीक है भाई.
सॉरी, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज ऑन विद मी टुडे. जस्ट टू ऑन.
बट मैंने ना किलर्स ऑफ द फ्लावर मून अभी तक नहीं देखा है,
मैंने
बिकॉज
किलर नहीं देखी है. हाँ.
रिलीज नहीं हुई है यहाँ पे, और मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया. मैं
क्यों?
1 साल पहले मैंने बुक पढ़ ली थी, और मैंने बुक उसकी आई आई रेड किलर्स ऑफ द फ्लावर मून बाय डेविड ग्रैन, एंड आई फिनिश्ड ऑफ डेविड ग्रैन का एंटायर, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, वर्क,
बिब्लियोग्राफी.
bibliography. I read like 5 6 books of his back to back, and I was so hyped for this movie. When the trailer dropped, I was hyped, and they fucking showed the trailer in one of the movies in the hall. Like,
ओह शिट.
then they didn't release it.
ओह
भाई
फक
तूने
दैट.
ट्रेलर क्यों दिखाया फिर?
भाई इसलिए
गुवाहाटी
कह
में
रहा हूँ.
रिलीज कैसी नहीं हो सकती है यार, ये क्या मतलब हुआ,
ब्रो
कोई भी रैंडम से रैंडम मूवीज हो जाती है वहां पर.
ब्रो बकवास मूवीज होती है, और मैंने देखा हॉरर मूवीज ना बहुत ज्यादा रिलीज होती है. ऑल एनी
हम्म.
इंडी हॉरर फिल्म ना यहाँ रिलीज होती है, बट यहाँ पे अच्छी फिल्में तो नहीं होती. और मुझे याद है, मुझे पता है क्यों, क्योंकि आई रिमेम्बर वेरी क्लियरली जब इंटरस्टेलर निकला था, और मैं एक्साइटेड होके बुकिंग करके मैं गया
हम्म.
फर्स्ट डे फर्स्ट शो, और मेरा एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि सोल्ड आउट होगा, एंड आई वाज द ओनली पर्सन इन द हॉल इन गुवाहाटी, एंड
तूने
दैट्स व्हेन.
प्राइवेट स्क्रीनिंग की अपनी
हाँ ब्रो,
इंटरस्टेलर
बस
के लिए?
मैं ही था
हाँ.
इंटरस्टेलर, एंड शायद कोई कपल थे, मतलब डेट मार रहे थे.
ओके.
एंड आई वाज लाइक, ये क्या हो गया, मैं तो क्या ही
मतलब तू एक डेट खराब करके ही आया उस
हाँ.
मूवी में
नो बट लाइक
basically.
डार्क नाइट निकली, इतना हॉल भरा हुआ है, बट इंटरस्टेलर पे नहीं था. दिस इज द फकिंग प्रॉब्लम. दिस इज द
Okay,
फकिंग.
Rohan Mehra, one of our party members, is
Chat.
in the room. Should I wait for Avinash or should
नहीं
we
नहीं, लेट्स
get
गेट
him
इन.
first? तो रुका के रखा है बाहर.
तो
Sorry, Rohan. Yeah, you can enter now. मतलब I've allowed you to enter. You can. Are you gonna switch on your camera or what's the scene? Hello. Hmm. Can you hear us, Rohan? Hello?
या
सर आप स्टेशन
हेलो
में हैं क्या अभी?
अरे इसलिए यार मैंने नहीं किया वीडियो कॉल, ये वो थोड़ा बहुत भीड़ थी, मैंने पहले मना करने वाला था मैं।
नहीं
मैं
कोई बात
लाइव
नहीं,
और
कोई बात नहीं,
मतलब
आराम से। या you're live. All 47 people are listening to you. Tell us. Firstly, yeah, thank you. एक सेकंड, अविनाश और से दोनों को साथ में ही।
स्टिल
Okay.
आवाज आ रही है अभी भी?
हाँ
थोड़ा
आवाज आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है। हाँ।
एक सेकंड।
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
nice to
Nice
see
to
you,
know
Avinash.
you.
Hi.
Finally.
Just wait a second.
Yeah, sure. Meanwhile, I'll read some comments.
Yeah.
Shaurya, Modi copied Macron from FIFA World Cup 2022. Macron hugged Mbappe. हाँ, उसने भी ये सब किया था मस्ती. Correct. Yeah, Avinash, are you good?
yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Mm.
Nice to see your face, man. Good. It was good to have you last time also, but we
Thank
didn't get
you.
to see you. But yeah.
Yeah, last time बहुत impromptu था, इसलिए तो I was like very
हाँ.
nervous also talking to you guys.
नहीं भाई, कोई नर्व तूने सुना तो है पॉडकास्ट, इसमें क्या
हाँ.
नर्वसनेस पर
Mm.
yeah. So firstly, thank you guys for
yeah.
being
Thank you so
party
much.
members and supporting the podcast. Thank you.
Seriously, yeah.
Hope this has been worth something. Some kind of ROI is there in this. This is why we are also doing this. कि साला हम लोग को भी थोड़ा गिल्टी लगता है कि भाई हम लोग पैसे तो लिए जा रहे हैं, हम लोग को थोड़ा प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर करना चाहिए रिवॉर्ड्स का, which we will try to do more stuff also soon. But yeah, thank you for doing this. And since you're here, and Rohan is on mute right now, so you guys can tell us which movie do you guys want to talk about, and whichever one you have stronger emotions about
Yeah.
out of the two.
I'll go with Killers of the Flower Moon. मतलब अभी तो देखा है, मतलब वही है बड़ा वाला.
Hmm.
So yeah, and you guys have kept the book also. तो frame में तो
अरे हाँ
वही. I mean, I have to see it again. मुझे मेरा वही है, मैं बहुत ही अलग मूड में देखा था मैं. I have to see it again. But I was expecting going in like group पे भी बोला था मैं कि I was expecting going in like Goodfellas with Cowboys करके मैं सोचा था. But no, this is completely different. बहुत ही different लगा. And yeah, I mean it's like, I mean like कैसा है कि his mortality, he's going on around in interviews saying that अभी मैं ज्यादा दिन तक जिंदा नहीं रहूंगा, मुझे पता नहीं मैं कितना दिन रहूंगा, ये सब कुछ करके. So
Right.
that is also coming into the factor of how I see this movie also. Like, is this the like what does he want to say? Is this what he wants to say at the end करके? कि like हाँ
Well,
मतलब
almost. I mean, I kind of agree with it, and I want to add to it also. I think that there is a sense of melancholy in his films that is new. Like
yes.
starting, I would say, Silence.
Hmm.
There is a sense of reflection and melancholy.
Yes.
Irishman ka, I think a large portion of it was just that.
Was about
Yes.
aging. All
Just
about aging.
Aging.
Yeah.
Yes.
And death.
And death. And kind of when do you quit kind of a feeling, na?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that feeling sort of permeates here, except that it becomes guilt. It talks about, and
Yeah.
that might as well be true for filmmakers, right? Because आप मुझे कभी कभी लगता है कि आप जितना कोशिश कर लो, कभी ना कभी आप कुछ ना कुछ अप्रोप्रिएट करोगे ही.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even as a documentary filmmaker, people are often accused of appropriating a person's story for their own gain, and at the end of the day, it's a commercial activity. I'm just
Yes.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. So,
I mean, वो criticism है ना कि like, oh, this is not the actual representation of Native Americans or ये story. How can he do it करके? I mean, I'm like, at the end of the day, it's still a Scorsese movie, man.
yeah.
Fair.
हाँ.
Yeah.
But इतना, see, he has given them a platform. ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि he has given them, but like Lily Gladstone actually उसने ना वो one of the consultants of the movie was disagreeing with the theme of the movie, but she came after I think the strike. She came and said that like, हाँ, Scorsese is a part of history. He's not as big as history. He might shape history, but like we can have much more representations also करके वो बोल रही थी.
I think it's also to do with, and my perspective, I absolutely love the movie and I agree. मेरा अविनाश से सबसे पहले agreement है उस बात पे that I need to watch it again for sure.
Yes, definitely.
मैंने डाउनलोड की थी कॉपी, ठीक है, और वो बहुत खराब print, तो मैंने I did not watch it finally, but yeah, it was too good, and I agree with you on thematics. It is just Scorsese in the past few movies, it is like him. I don't know if it's right to say, but like he's resolving unresolved business kind of a thing,
Exactly, yeah.
in his own head. Because if I was to look at the career of somebody, if I can look at the career of somebody like a Martin Scorsese, मेरी औकात नहीं है, but मैं ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूँ कि in a sense he becomes like a biographer of America.
Exactly, yeah.
In a sense, biopicker of America, if you may.
Spielberg is also like that. Like
Yeah.
history channel चलाना चालू हो गया उसका भी second half of the
Exactly.
career.
Not just about History Channel, but like I'm saying in terms of
Yeah.
not just covering it, I'm saying ki as a adapting history.
No,
It's
yeah.
just about how places developed, how New York developed, how it might have that Italian American gangster वाला lens उसमें काफी बार रहा है.
रहेगा.
काफी बार मैं नहीं भी रहा. I would actually highly recommend Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, After Hours, King of Comedy. These are amazing films of his, which I think everyone should watch. And उन सब मूवीज से में भी ये वाली थीम हमेशा रही है that he is analyzing a culture, he's analyzing
Yes.
a place, for all its flaws, and which is why often it feels like he's endorsing it, but he's just and I feel like
I never buy that he's endorsing it क्योंकि मुझे कभी लगता नहीं है.
नहीं yeah, he's not endorsing, but all I'm saying, मैं खाली complete कर देता हूँ, he just has a thing of कि मतलब वो after in this movie, it's like the idea that how did I not tell the story of, say, Native Americans in this place, which is all of this was their land. So
Yes.
a sense of his own guilt, which is why, spoiler alert now for anybody who's not watched Killers of the Flower Moon, including Himanshu, they would say the headphone निकाल ले. But end में ना जब वो खुद आ जाता है, when he shows up himself and
Exactly, yeah.
when he's doing it almost feels like कि, it almost feels like I am sort of repenting in a sense. I'm telling you this. Anyway.
I also think he doesn't want to be misunderstood.
नहीं स्पॉइल करोगे, मैंने बुक पढ़ी है, तुम मुझे
नहीं भाई, ये तो
फिल्म में अलग है.
फिल्म वाला है ये, फिल्म
दर्जी ने खेल दिया भाई.
अच्छा ठीक है, that's why I haven't watched it because I don't want to watch a shitty print. अब मेरे से नहीं होने वाला.
Of course.
I'm still excited. I'll watch it properly only, चाहे जो भी हो.
आ जाएगा Apple में, I think it'll come. I think.
अच्छा, रोहन has been on mute for a while, तो रोहन आप भी अपने thoughts बताओ.
कैसे लगा? Hello.
Yes, can hear you.
अभी आवाज कम हुई.
थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्बेंस
लैग है यार, थोड़ा सा there's a lag.
तो अच्छा अभी आवाज आ रही है? Should I continue?
Yeah, now you can continue. Yes.
Yeah, so I haven't watched The Killer. Like I've only watched Killers of the Flower Moon. So I also really liked it. Or like I haven't seen the whole like filmography of Scorsese. Like I have just मैंने देखी है movies in bit सारी नहीं देखी है. और तो I also really like this ये वाली movie तो काफी पसंद आई. मतलब मुझे एक point पे first half it's not dragging, but I was very like the way they were showing the atrocities. Like I really like the fact that उन्होंने हर front से cover. I haven't read the book. Like मैंने सोचा पहले movie देखूंगा, then I will read the book. So
same as me.
I really like the concept के they showed very like immaculately के bureaucracy से, medical front से, कैसे how they are being hijacked, how they are being eliminated from all the fronts. So that I really liked in the movie. और first half में एक point था जब it was like कि the killings are so easy to make. Like तो एक वो वाला feeling था कि let's stop it now. When will FBI like when will they show up? When will there be a arc? थोड़ा good feel हो. But it was I was very traumatized. Traumatized नहीं बोलूँगा, but I was very like few scenes were very I was moved on. I was moved. Yeah, that was my like 2 cents.
I think no, and I want to add to that. I feel like कई लोगों का कि ये criticism मैंने देखा था कि it's so simply like इतना it's like clockwork कि ये murder हुआ फिर ये murder हुआ फिर ये murder हुआ. It's like so, but I don't think of that as a criticism. I feel like that's kind of the point.
I think
that is a point. Yeah.
I think people are expecting like कि बहुत smart रहेंगे all these guys who basically committed these murders. No, they are all dumb idiots.
Yeah.
they're dumb idiots. They are basically, I mean, even the film also shows like कि एक बंदे ने he was supposed to shoot in the head and make it look like an accident, but like भाई ने तो
Yeah.
कुछ अलग ही कर दिया था. Yeah, so it's like people are like astounded कि like अरे भाई इतना simple था क्या, मतलब yeah, I mean it was that simple and nobody gave a shit. That's the problem, right? वो इसके वजह से.
Even Leo's character भी, अच्छा sorry.
Yeah,
नहीं, you continue.
Yeah, even Leo's character maybe they have shown him very like naive, and really like that scene that he's like Martin Scorsese is hitting him when he is giving. So like he's shown like a dumb fuck. Leo को भी एकदम वही दिखाया है.
yeah.
So
De Niro's character, you mean, not Scorsese?
Not
Yeah.
Scorsese. De Niro's character.
What? Sorry.
One Italian to another.
No
बस
stress.
और कुछ नहीं है.
अरे
Can
but
I-
you know
can I-
अविनाश का, हाँ हिमांशु तू बोल.
Yeah,
I feel like I should just mention the structure of the book once, because
Yeah.
it clarifies everything.
Yeah.
Basically, the book is about the author himself, David Gran, walking around, meeting the children of these people and
Yes.
talking about the murders and uncovering the whole thing. So it's not exactly about a story. It's like an article, investigative journalism. So it's
like 30 different articles. जो
Yeah.
So the structure follows this pattern where you're following people whose family members have died or been murdered, and they don't know, there is no closure, right? So what I'm assuming Martin Scorsese did is he basically turned it around and tried to make it into a fiction story, and assumed कि अच्छा, the complexity of the story is not कि just murder हुआ था, but how did what goes behind a person who likes like basically the main two characters, they're supposedly in love as well, right? So how complicated
Yeah.
is this story? So I kind of got that from the trailer ki this is about showing ki this is ki let me tell you a story which is so complicated it will not make any sense to anybody, but this is what the book is about. Like
I think you're half right, because वो ऐसा
Kind of, yes, yeah.
I don't think he shows the story very complicated. वो ऐसा वो कुछ नहीं करता, but he does show the complexity of that relationship between Leo and Lily Gladstone, which in the book also वो बात तो है ये, that the confusion of the Leo वाला जो बंदा था, real बंदा उसका, and the wife. And so one thing I really agree with Avinash, जो उसने कहा कि book से अलग जो चीज की है, which is that it was very simple what Avinash said ki, and I agree with him, because I'm glad that they deviated the narrative track from the book, because the book, if you read the book, it is a whodunit till a large, उसमें book में एक twist होता है, after only a point वो आपको पता चलता है कि oh fuck, these are the killers, but in the movie तुम ट्रेलर देखोगे तो तुम्हें scene 1 से बताया हुआ that who the killers are.
I mean, if you cast Robert De Niro, if you cast Robert De Niro and tell him like we have to take control back of your
exactly.
home.
Yeah.
Any movie guy who knows that, it will be like, De Niro is the villain.
Exactly.
Sorry, you continue saying that.
नहीं, so basically उसी में मुझे क्या लगा कि उसी चीज के अंदर the way that the fact that he's shown them to be so dumb, as you said, and they यही एक तरीका था. If they would have shown it as a murder mystery, I don't think it would be a mystery for people today, right?
Yeah.
आज के लोगों के लिए who are going through the race studies in general in America, all over the world, तुम्हारे लिए ये चीज मिस्ट्री नहीं होगी कि हो क्या रहा है यहाँ पर, तुम्हारे लिए बहुत ही ऑब्वियस होगा कि ये क्या हो रहा है. हाँ, शायद उस टाइम पर वो मिस्ट्री लग रही होगी, बट आज के दिन से अगर तुम देखोगे तो तुम्हें बिल्कुल भी वो नहीं लगेगा. सो आई लाइक द फैक्ट एंड आई सॉ सम, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, मैंने फिल्म क्रिटिक्स के ट्वीट्स देखे थे जहां उन्होंने कहा था कि why like all these film bro, एक तो film bro has become the same as the term, for example the term, जब मैं भी overuse करता हूँ, cringe और film, these things have become so overused. Woke, these are such overused words, they have zero meaning left anymore.
Completely loaded words here.
मतलब कोई किसी को कुछ भी बुलाओ, कोई भी वो हो सकता है और कोई भी नहीं भी हो सकता है. So the point is कि उसने ऐसा बोला था that all these film people, they don't read literature and they think it's deviated from Scorsese, but Scorsese तो भगवान है, मतलब भाई मेरे को तो मैं, और उसने उस बंदे ने मूवी भी नहीं देखी थी, मेरे को लग रहा है उसने बुक भी नहीं पढ़ी है, क्योंकि उसकी जो भाषा लग रही थी मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, उसने बुक भी शायद नहीं पढ़ी होगी. एनीवे सो या
Any criticisms of the movie?
एनी
Because I felt maybe this is me reflecting on it many days later, because I was frankly overwhelmed by the film when it happened, like when I saw it. So I immediately could not react कि इसमें क्या अच्छा बुरा. It was just like an experience. But I think in retrospect, I feel in certain places it explains very little. It sets context a little less than I would have wanted.
Yeah.
And at certain places it is a little simplistic, if I may use. And I have that. If we are going into spoilers, then I can talk about it. Himanshu, I think you'll have to.
yeah.
So the point where he's poisoning her, right? Lily Gladstone's character. I felt that, first of all, I don't know if it's true, because the book doesn't imply so much of it. If you have read the book, it talks about it, but it doesn't talk about it in such frequency.
It does say that he was giving her something which was spite.
Yeah, but
he was slowly killing her, basically.
Yeah, for me, those sequences. Okay, maybe I don't know how to say this, and I know you all are.
Is it repetitive?
Yeah, it felt repetitive, and I know that there's a point to that repetition. But for me, the repetition of his conflict in giving her the poison, that seemed repetitive. Matlab, when the first time it happened, I got it, and I was like and when there's a scene where Lily Gladstone kind of knows that there might be something in it, and she asks him, what you're giving me, that is insulin, right? And he lies, and that's it. She doesn't need to be, she just completely trusts him. That was the first time that it happens. But I felt that he kind of gave the same emotional weightage to each of the times that he does it. And I felt that for me was a repetitive beat. I get the idea of a repetition, that's fine. But emotionally, if the beat is hitting me with the same intensity again and again, it felt repetitive emotionally to me.
Okay.
That was one. And context setting की जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, वो I think खन्ना के साथ भी बात हुई थी. हिमांशु तो सुन नहीं रहा, देख भी नहीं रहा. He can bring it back on. But we talked about how in the book he makes it very clear how invasive was this guardianship system, right?
Yeah.
How these people had to really like rely on these random white people.
It was so shocking to read that they had to, even to get their own money.
Yeah.
Native Americans had to be, because they were not considered competent, right? They had to be.
They have to say incompetent.
Yeah.
Yes, they have to say incompetent. Yeah.
And I think they show that in the film.
Yeah, they do. मुझे actually वो मेरा एक criticism है कि जो चीजें बुक में थी, अगेन ये कोई भी अगर कोई बुक पढ़ेगा जिसको बुक पसंद आएगी और वो
That's why मुझे बुक पढ़ने का नहीं था, because I know that it'll fuck with your, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
नहीं continue.
Yeah, it'll fuck with your brain, because like you will be like, the book went into detail about this, but movie
में exactly तो वही है. उसमें मुझे बस वो उसी फैक्टर में मुझे ये लगा कि they did not go into all the things that Native Americans would have to go through. For example, I don't think they showed that scene. It would have been completely out of context, but I felt like Scorsese will begin with something like that in a detailed scene. There was a race for land in Omaha या Oklahoma. So Oklahoma, I think Omaha तो शहर है. Oklahoma. So there was a race for like a literal race. They were announced like ऐसा 3-2-1 करके everyone would run and try to grab land basically. कि ये अब तुम्हारा land हो जाएगा.
Correct.
And all of that stuff I felt like could have been. They do mention the Tulsa bombing, right? In the
Tulsa
movie.
Massacre,
Tulsa Massacre, which was, those of you don't know, Tulsa Massacre. Tulsa is a city in the US. It used to be known as Black Wall Street. It was in the 1920s, 1910s. This community of black people got very successful, very financially rich, and a lot of people had issues with that, and they literally bombed the place from like planes and stuff with private planes. They bombed the place and they completely destroyed it. So so they do mention that stuff. So
anything else to add?
One criticism I found, like like I wanted to ask you also, you guys also, कि Native Americans जो उन लोग ओसाज sisters को मेरे को लगा थोड़ा naive, they depicted them a bit naive. मतलब मुझे लगा कि it is intentional or not. जैसे the Osage sisters are talking amongst themselves कि this white guy does he love you or not? So she says that he is not that smart, but he's beautiful, like blue eyes है. So they are falling. They know that they are behind the money or and stuff, and then still they are like so easily convinced like to marry them. So that was something I haven't read the book, so I couldn't get that context. Suppose if it might have been explained in the book. So I wanted to like तो ऐसा लगा कि they represented in them a bit gullible या naive.
I think वो थोड़ी जमाने की बात है, because I feel like old time 1920s की शादी तो ऐसी होती है. मतलब I don't think they had so many criterias also, है ना? Like हाँ भाई ठीक है पैसा हो चाहिए, but पैसा सबको ही चाहिए. तो वैसा I feel they also have that kind of attitude, you know.
And I feel like Gladstone's character also was like she was kind of hot for Leo's character.
Yeah,
she was like
that was cool.
Yeah. She was like, वो dialogue भी रहता ना. I think she's like, yeah, he's not that desperate, but like, yeah, he is like, he is stable. So I think she tells to one of her. But मुझे तो I feel like I thought, for me I feel like Scorsese being a like, अभी मैं थोड़ा सा controversial character में जा रहा हूँ. Scorsese being a Judeo-Christian guy dealing with a Native American faith, थोड़ा सा it, I don't know how it feels.
I think मेरे हिसाब से he tried to be tried to be अरे एक से tried to be क्या tried to be respectful. वो थोड़ा one arm length के साथ he tried to be respectful with, it's almost like I understand your culture, I am not at all commenting on your culture anything, and I'm not going into the detail of it, and he just sort of went for the matlab he told us folk tales from it, you know, you have all of those things from Native American culture, but it sort of stays at a respectful distance. जैसे अगर तुम दूसरे देश के कोई मंदिर मस्जिद या जो भी टेम्पल में जाओगे तो तुम आर्किटेक्चर देखने जा रहे हो, तुम कुछ उधर छेड़खानी नहीं करने जा रहे हो, तो तुम रिस्पेक्टफुली जूते उतार के वापस भी निकल जाओगे उधर से.
हाँ, it's that, yeah, I agree with that assessment, and that you can call it a drawback also, or you can call it just because it is essentially the story of a white guy. It's, and at the most it's the story of this interracial couple.
Correct.
It's not the story of Native American, you know, anything.
But you can read into that, like one of them represents white America and one of them represents Native Americans. Whereas you can read into that, like both are stand-ins for that. And it's like a poisoned romance that they go through.
If I may add one point, which I think is very important for what the narrative style that Scorsese chose to go over here was. Scorsese, and who wrote the screenplay?
Eric Roth.
Eric Roth या दूसरा वाला को Eric Roth ने लिखी ना?
Not screenplay.
हाँ, so basically I feel like the path that they went for over here was that for America as a whole, not just for Robert De Niro and DiCaprio's character, but America as a whole, the presence of Native Americans was never a conflict. It was always just an inconvenience.
Exactly.
It was never it was not like, for example, if you guys are familiar with American history at all, it wasn't like, you know, for example, the Mexicans from the South or the French who had territory, or UK, Britain, which had territory. Those were proper conflicts, right? Or against Spain, I think they had. So, but it wasn't a conflict with these. This was more of just an inconvenience which you have to get rid of. There was no two ways about it. It wasn't like, so I feel like they decided to use this as a vehicle to, this story as a vehicle to tell that story also, which is that these people are just treated as an inconvenience rather than, they're not even hiding it after beyond the point.
Yeah.
लोगों का murder कर रहे हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं, they don't even care how it looks to people, and in the process completely lose their sort of identity, which जो end में जो होता है scene जहाँ पे वो बताता है कि मैं बता नहीं रहा, हिमांशु, you can stay. So basically वो जो बता रहा था ना, that they used to live, ये लोग जब भी सब कुछ पिट पट गया उसके बाद they used to live as white trash, like whatever as they called white trash, as in trailer parks. तो it is also about, तुमने एक पूरा एक दूसरा कल्चर मारा जो उस लैंड का कल्चर था, प्लस तुमने अपना कल्चर भी मार दिया, और अब तुम सब मरे हुए हो बेसिकली. वो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि उसका थोड़ा सा वो भी पॉइंट था इसमें. So
but I now want to move see Scorsese make a contemporary film. I'm very greedy for that. It's been a while. It's been a while, right? What was the last
Departed was the last contemporary film,
which was
long back.
2008, and that also you can.
वो भी adaptation ही थी, वो तो
Correct.
मतलब हाँ.
I want an original Scorsese riff on current American madness, whatever you want to call it.
Acha, 1 second before we do. So we will continue the discussion, but we also want to get, so because we are doing this for a limited time, so tell us your views also, guys, on The Killer, please, before we can, or unless you have anything else to add also on Killers of the Flower Moon, either of you. हाँ भरत, तू कुछ कहना चाह रहा था, सॉरी.
नहीं, मैं कह रहा था किलर के बारे में बात करने से पहले मैंने नहीं देखी है, तो स्पॉइलर अलर्ट दे देना, मैं म्यूट कर दूंगा तुम
हम लोग स्पॉयलर्स नहीं देंगे किलर के लिए, मतलब
किलर के लिए मैं भी नहीं दूंगा स्पॉयलर्स. या
ग्रेट.
या so I mean मेरा तो I thought the performances are like excellent. Gladstone तो is amazing. She might be getting a best actress nomination.
वो मिल रहा है, हाँ.
And De Niro is good. De Niro is like मैं सिर्फ Scorsese के पिक्चर में काम करूंगा और बाकी सब में मैं सिर्फ I'll just chill out and I'll just come and mug for the camera.
Yeah.
I felt like if you guys have seen Chinatown, it's like he's the big bad of Chinatown, John Huston. He's Noah Cross, very much like that, very composed guy, very very well respected, but he's internally internally very evil guy. Very much I like that. Yeah, and लियो का तो बहुत मजाक उड़ाया यार, ये मूवी में तो बहुत मजाक उड़ाया लियो का, तो एकदम खतरनाक मजाक उड़ाया.
लिटरली लियो लाइक रिडिक्यूल हुआ पूरा ये मूवी में, तो मुझे तो ऐसा लगा.
I mean, yeah.
लियो का परफॉर्मेंस आप लोगों को कैसा लगा? लेकिन मजाक उड़ाया एक बात है, बट परफॉर्मेंस कैसा लगा ओवरऑल? Where would you rank it? Okay, not overall rank, but
do you think he played a character? Do you think he played the character like?
Yes.
He put in the जो करता है, जो हर कैरेक्टर में घुस के वो फिर कर देता है.
वो किया है. उसका interpretation of that character is interesting, to say the least.
Yes.
Is it removing like agency and saying that it was not his fault? That's my question, because I've read.
No, it doesn't do that.
It's much more complicated than that.
Yeah. Okay. And मतलब मेरा यही एक main question था out of the having not seen the movie, कि do they kind of reduce it to, you know, कि वो तो उसको कुछ आता नहीं था, तो उसने.
I don't think Scorsese is also like very sure about what that guy thinks, what basically Leo's guy thinks or what he thinks करके. I don't think
he won't cop out on this.
I personally loved Leo's performance. In fact, I saw a different shade of it in the second half, when, again, spoiler alert, Himanshu hata de. At the point at which he's told that his son or daughter dies, you know, and he's in the jail. Daughter. And he breaks down, and De Niro doesn't, right? And that exchange, I think that is where, for me, in the film, the power dynamics kind of shifted, because Leo could see that firsthand. He could see how what he cares deeply for, De Niro clearly doesn't.
Yes.
And that is the first, and I think it hits him the closest because it's his daughter, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the next scene that we see them together is when he's being taken away, and he's like, I'm gonna tell them everything.
Testify.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Rohan and Avinash, tell us your views also on The Killer.
Yeah.
So then we can move on.
I haven't watched The Killer, like the movie Killer. The Killer. Killers of the Flower Moon, I've watched that only.
So I think मैंने ही देखा है सिर्फ.
नहीं मैंने भी देखा है.
मैंने भी देखा किलर.
भारत, मैं भारत को रिकॉर्डिंग से पहले ये बोल रहा था, भाई क्या शर्म वाले दिन आ गए. डेविड फिंचर की मूवी आ चुकी है, एक हफ्ते से कोई देख नहीं रहा नेटफ्लिक्स पे. देखो ये हाल आ चुका है.
ऐसा लग रहा है, बट इट्स ऑन नंबर 1 मैन, नेटफ्लिक्स पे अभी भी. इट्स ऑन नंबर 1.
वो तो आई थिंक डेविड फिंचर के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में होगा, लिख देना प्लीज, शर्म करो. हाँ.
मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन ये है कि even though it's a great movie, Killer, it's still basically a Netflix movie, and Fincher knew it, and he made it in that way.
My heart.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all. It's just that it's more like a how do I say it?
Explain.
He's basically made way more complicated stuff right before, and Mank was also quite complicated, very heavy with words and stuff, right? And then this movie comes along, and it's not I'm not saying the problem is it doesn't have a lot of people speaking. It has it has a narration, right? So the
I'll
narration
tell
kind
you. Sorry, Himanshu, let me say what you want to say in so many words, which is, as opposed to other films of Fincher, this is content, right?
thoda sa, yeah, thoda sa.
This could have been a video essay,
Oh my
basically.
god! Oh my god! This is just breaking my heart now.
Why?
अच्छा
I
नहीं, but
liked
you
it.
you tell us your
है ना?
opinion. हाँ.
See, मेरे हिसाब से ना Fincher fans are like two types of guys. People basically, not guys. I don't want to generalize, but like
They're
people who
mostly
have,
guys. They're mostly
yeah.
guys.
No, dude, women love Fincher.
Really?
What are you
Gone Girl,
saying? I think
Gone
Gone
Girl,
Girl redeemed him, but Fight Club has distanced him
Social
also.
Network,
Fine.
Social
हाँ,
Network.
that also.
See, there are two people who basically love Fincher. The ones that have seen him from Seven, and the ones that have seen him from Social Network. So,
Fight
dono
Club,
fans.
bro. Fight Club is the
Fight Club is
biggest.
Fight Club.
Yeah.
Fight Club is also
Fight
there,
Club.
but like, yeah, but like, तो ना सोशल नेटवर्क वाला फिंचर इज लाइक एक जनरेशन में बैठ गया है, फाइट क्लब वाला फिंचर एक जनरेशन में बैठ गया है, तो दे आर बोथ ऑफ दीज ट्रूप्स आर क्लैशिंग एवरी टाइम on which is the greatest Fincher movie and which is not the
ब्रदर,
greatest
आप
Fincher.
अपना ओपिनियन तो बताएं. मतलब ये तो आपने कल्चरल एनालिसिस कर दिया.
मेरा तो I
feel from the movie.
think it's his best Netflix output.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Mindhunter is good. House of Cards is abysmal, but like
Yeah.
abysmal. But this is his best thing. This is like this is his best. I felt like he's like again back into the, like he feels like he's energized to do it again. And मुझे तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. Even though it's like predictable, predictable मतलब it's like RT version of John Wick है ये.
हाँ.
But
Last
Fincher is,
Samurai करके भी एक मूवी आई थी.
yeah, Last Samurai, yeah.
Melville की.
Melville की. Yeah. मतलब मेरे हिसाब से तो I always think that he is like the मतलब बोलने के लिए बहुत बड़ा चीज है, but like he's basically the heir of Hitchcock when it comes to precision and timing and everything.
Very good point, dude. He resembles Hitchcock not just in like the precision part, which he does, but he also resembles in Hitchcock as, मतलब जितना ही मैंने देखा है Hitchcock के बारे में या पढ़ा है या उसके इंटरव्यूज देखे हैं या Alfred Hitchcock Presents टाइप के शोज जो करता था, both these characters were very morbidly curious people about morbid things.
Yes.
You know, they always explore these kind of parts. So very interesting. Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. And both have like penchant for perverseness.
Yeah.
They love to get deep into perverseness. So मुझे तो I thought it was excellent. मुझे तो मजा, I mean, I really loved it, and मुझे बहुत मजा आया. I felt like this is like he is the most active, and you can see his print on all in the entire film. Whereas,
yeah.
No, you were saying something, Vimanshu.
Whereas compare करो, बताओ.
Whereas Mindhunter or like House of Cards, I feel like, and little bit Mank भी मुझे थोड़ा सा ऐसे ही लगा कि like he's like his मतलब थोड़ा सा his instincts are not there in
You're saying he's phoning it in. He's not 100%.
Yeah, he's not 100%.
Basically. Fair enough, maybe because he's already said he was like very tired. No, after Mindhunter, उसने उसीलिए बंद किया ना कि भाई मेरे से मेहनत नहीं हो रही इतनी ज़्यादा अभी.
Yeah, and it's too expensive also. Yeah,
It is very expensive, man. मतलब if the way Fincher is supposed to shoot, मतलब वो जिस तरीके से करता है with the amount of takes he does, even though which is why उसको झक मारा के CGI ये सब करना ही पड़ता है, which I wanted to get into later also. But yeah, also tell us your criticisms also so that we can also get on with the discussion with us. So yeah, tell us your पसंद क्या नहीं आया, where does it rank in Fincher filmography for you?
मैंने तो अपना रैंकिंग डाल दिया था ग्रुप में, but like I think it's like his technically it's far better. Like I think after Gone Girl, this is like my like favorite Fincher. Yeah, Gone Girl.
It is high praise, dude. Gone Girl के बाद वैसे क्या Mank आया और क्या आया?
Mank, and then House of Cards, and then
Mindhunter. Films.
No, that's the problem, right? उसने कुछ बनाया नहीं 2014 के बाद से. Yeah.
Mank को छोड़ के.
Mank, yeah.
And Mank also is like he did it because the script was written by his dad, right?
Yeah.
It's like
therapy.
So it's not. It's a way to like. The idea was to get it out.
Yeah.
But
of his system.
But I kind of liked Mank. Like
I did
don't
too.
know.
I
I don't
really
know.
liked Mank.
It was not. It's the least Fincher film of his films, and I
No, that's
think
Benjamin Button, I think.
Yes.
नहीं, but I'll
That's
tell you,
about it.
Benjamin Button still looks. There is like a
क्योंकि
the
वो ब्लैक एंड
movies
व्हाइट
look.
में है इसके लिए और क्योंकि वो सिटीजन केन का वो पूरा उसने वो किया है.
No, he's
Style पूरा उधर
experimented
से
a
है.
lot. He's experimented a lot with like direction and like dialogues.
हाँ तो वही मैं कह
Yeah.
रहा हूँ उसने वहां से उसने सिटीजन केन में तो आई द रीजन आई रियली लाइक मैंक वाज बिकॉज आई डिसाइडेड टू डू दैट होल थिंग. आई वॉच सिटीजन केन और मैंने वो देखी या मैंने पहले मैंक देखी और मैंने उसकी इमीडिएटली बाद ऐसा कुछ तो एंड डूड मेरे को उसमें इतना सही लगा the way he's done it. Also, I don't know if people have mentioned this before, but this ties into this discussion. Citizen Kane का एक सीन स्कॉर्सेजी ने लिफ्ट तो क्या होमाज दिया हुआ है उसको
कौन सा?
प्रॉपर. वुल्फ ऑफ वॉल स्ट्रीट आप लोगों को एक छोटी सी मूवी आई थी याद है. सो उसमें जब भी वो पार्टी कर रहे होते हैं जब वो बोलता है ना कि पार्टी होगी एंड द स्ट्रिपर्स आल्सो शो अप तो पहले एक बैंड आता है याद है वेयरिंग फुल आउटफिट and they're playing that music and they're half naked or whatever. That same band comes in Citizen Kane jab Charles Kane throws a party for his publication whatever it is for his newsroom. वो same exact वो होता है उसमें. It's very cool. Yeah, anything else Rohan or Avinash? Rohan, you did not watch The Killer, but आप फिर अब हमको हमारी आपकी favorite Fincher film बताओ कम से कम.
Fight Club beast है जैसे बोला it's a beast like I haven't watched the whole filmography. मैंने 7 देखी है, Fight Club देखी है और like I have watched Social Network and I have watched House of Cards but I haven't watched Mindhunter. तो and I have watched
फिर आप
Gone
ये
also,
बंद करके अभी जाके Mindhunter देखिए प्लीज because Mindhunter is yeah I feel so
अरे
bad.
नहीं सारी बैठ के देखो. मैं तो बताता हूँ मुझे तो द गेम भी बहुत अच्छी लगी थी जब देखी थी ना मैंने.
फिल्म है.
Game is good यार. Game is like fun.
Yeah.
Fincher's Total Recall इसका Fincher का पूरा.
Yeah. And बहुत सही मतलब people still like जब गेम निकली थी ना it was like Inception at that time. The way people responded to it and copied it.
But I still don't understand why he hates the ending of Game. मुझे अभी तक समझ में नहीं आता है.
He hates the ending of the
Yeah.
वो जो एंड में spoiler alert for the game वो जब वो शॉन पेन आता है और वो पार्टी वो जो कर रहे होते हैं और
basically
सरप्राइज दे देता है उसको. करेक्ट. हाँ
and he's like
उसको पसंद नहीं है मेरे को तो बहुत माइंड फक लगा था 2012 में जब देखी थी तो हाँ
but हाँ मेरा तो I think it's Zodiac. I still think it's Zodiac.
Oh yeah.
Zodiac is so watchable and it's so it's funny also, you know, like people don't bro Zodiac na I swear I've showed it to everybody. I love Zodiac.
Zodiac is my favorite although Zodiac
it's better than Fight Club यार any
yeah for sure. मतलब उसमें just certain moments are not just my favorite like that genre का moment. Some of my favorite moments in cinema like when he goes actually बहुत corny moment है मुझे बहुत पसंद है. जैसे वो ये जेक जिलनॉल जाता है उसके घर में और बोलता है वो उसको बोलता है not many people have basements in California.
Come on man, it's a really scary moment.
Yeah, it is really scary but dude that is like such a great movie and the way he builds up to it और वो नीचे जाता है and the walk back up man is just amazing. Like that is Fincher also at his operating at his peak I feel.
Yes.
At some level so yeah. Anyway, any closing comments or recommendations that either of you guys have for us today? And also once again thank you for joining us.
Yeah man.
The 2 party members we have. आपके दम पे आज भी वो YouTube membership की tier चल रही है. Please हमको और देखे जाओ recommendation please बताओ कुछ.
मुझे एक personal question भी पूछना है. मैं पूछ सकता हूँ क्या?
Of course भाई.
Depends on the question पर तू पूछ.
Yeah. Personal question है यार. You guys watch a lot of movies. You guys keep writing about it. Like I just want to know how often do you guys actually watch movies? Is it like one a day? Is it how do you find out what you want to watch? What's your process?
Yeah. Like I would say कि मैं अविनाश इतना तो जो active है मैं तो उतना I'm not that into cinema like that the whole reason like I like you guys because you have introduced me to like a whole lot of cinema जो like एक cinephile था लेकिन it was very limited sort of thing so it was like इतना heat का बात होता है group में तो that compelled me to watch the movie Heat and then like there are many movies
Ronit
and
अरे
Avinash sorry
What's
Avinash again I need Ronit here also you know now it's like high time
But context for random, like people who don't not on the group, like Avinash is the biggest flag bearer of Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
Ferrari आ रहा है भाई.
उसमें भी आना, उसमें भी we will call you. उसमें तो बुलाना चाहिए ही. उसमें तो बनता है. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Any recommendation?
Rohan was saying something.
Yeah, बोलो.
So like तो वही था, मतलब movies देखा था, लेकिन it was not like that. Then suddenly I got introduced to your podcast. So वो एकदम ऐसे relatable लगे कि जैसे like मतलब एकदम it was not like a podcast I don't think, like people सच में मतलब the podcast which like when this was not Disscontent that PI political.
अरे आप पुराने प्लेयर हैं क्या सर?
हाँ पुराने प्लेयर हैं, पुराने मतलब पहले पुराने थे, अभी डॉर्मेंट ही थे, अभी थोड़ा एक्टिव हुए.
नहीं.
Thank you so much, man.
वही था. तो in the sense like I really like that, and most of the Hindi cinema that I've watched, तो उसमें काफी मुझे relatable लगा कि cultural analysis क्या चल रहा है, और पॉलिटिकली भी सब बातें इधर जो होती थी उस पॉडकास्ट में, तो इट वाज वेरी रिलेटेबल. तो and then I discovered your movies. तो वो कॉलेज वाली अरे तो मैंने फिर like I showed like my sister also, she is an artist, तो she does painting and all, तो वो थोड़ा हमारी ऐसे बात होती थी. तो she was the person like जो आर्ट और like how to view art और वो वाली चीज होती है. तो that was like, तो I recommended Cowman देखो, and like Cowman, अरे Cowman तो खतरनाक है. Like I really wanted to discuss someday, like you should discuss that movie. क्या
वो हम लोग बात करते हैं, आप कभी मेरे को मैसेज कर लो, हम लोग बात कर लेंगे इसके बारे में.
And even like I also really liked Himanshu Arya's like that degree film. वो तो मतलब कभी कभी go to हो जाता है, like I don't know why.
But do you मतलब वो मैं खाली ये जानना था because it always fascinates me. मैंने भी जिनको भी हिमांशु आर्य की डिग्री फिल्म दिखाई है, बिना कॉन्टेक्स्ट ही मजा आता है भाई लोगों को.
अरे बहुत, अरे जैसे वो कॉलेज, लाइक आई हैव आल्सो बीन दैट कॉलेज हॉस्टल वाला चीज, तो हॉस्टल वाला वो वाइब बहुत अच्छा लाइक कवर किया है, दैट वो बहुत अच्छा, लाइक इट वाज वेरी गुड डॉक्यूमेंटरी.
थैंक्स अ लॉट,
आई रियली लाइक दैट. तो लाइक सो दैट इज लाइक, इसलिए आई रियली लाइक यू, मतलब मजा आती है सुनने पॉडकास्ट, और सही है.
हाँ भाई, तू तो पैसे फेंक के मार रहा है, तो थैंक यू सो मच. वो तो पता ही है. थैंक यू.
Thanks so much everyone.
Dude, I don't even pay you guys every month also, by.
अरे it's cool. No stress, dude. That's fine. That's totally
तो
fine.
नहीं तो वही है, मतलब मजा आती है. It's good, it's cool. Like मजा आती है पॉडकास्ट सुनने में, तो that's it.
Thanks a lot, bro. Avinash, now you also have to praise us equally or more.
No, I generally like talking. I generally like talking about movies, and I like you guys, and इसलिए मैं तुम लोग का ग्रुप ज्वाइन हुआ था. And from that time on, I really like talking movies with you guys. And भाई मैं इतना भी पिक्चर नहीं देखता यार जितना तुम लोग बोल रहे हो. मैं अभी नहीं देखी. And हाँ, but whenever I find time, I do watch movies. I do catch up. Like मेरा कैसा लिस्ट रहता है कि हाँ मुझे ये देखना है, अभी ये देखना है. I want to explore. And I never say no to like हाँ कुछ नया चीज देखना है तो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, मतलब I'll watch, I'll give it them the chance.
अविनाश के ऐसे रैंडमली डिस्कॉन्टेंट ग्रुप पे सुबह 3 बजे टेक्स्ट आएगा कि आई वॉच दिस फिल्म फ्रॉम द 70s.
हाँ
1954.
Like write up on it.
Bro, the group is so active at like late night early morning. मतलब आप लिखो सुबह कुछ भी ना, 5 बजे भी कुछ लिखोगे तो कोई ना कोई इमीडिएटली रिप्लाई कर देता है.
इमीडिएटली. मैंने अभी सत्यजीत रे की कोई देखी है क्या, सोनार किला देखी है कोई, तभी दे देंगे 3 और लोग, तभी दे देंगे कुछ ना कुछ. I feel so it's pretty cool. And Avinash is a big credit to the group, because we owe a big credit to Avinash for keeping the group active also. Largely भाई मतलब काफी you guys do a lot of the heavy lifting जो हमको भी करनी चाहिए पर हमको शर्म नहीं आती, तो वो भी बात है. But yeah, this was really great, man. Thanks a lot for joining us and for your support. And
it's been a pleasure.
We hope to have you guys back soon. In fact, कोई भी नई मूवी आ रही हो या कुछ ऐसी मूवी हो जो मतलब जिसकी आपको लगता है हम लोग तो बात करेंगे डेफिनेटली, कोई जैसे फरारी आ रही है जो भी. So and if you want to be a part of that discussion, just let us know and we will bring you guys on for those as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
Sure.
Thank you. I'm gonna continue with the rest of the episode till then.
Yeah, sure.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
एक सेकंड.
यो
हेलो. हाँ,
Shall we
कैसा
all-
लगा भाई? मजा आया?
मजा
सही.
आया.
क्या तू क्या कह रहा था? तुझे भी निकलना है क्या?
मैं कह रहा हूँ रेकोस दे दे फिर अपने क्या.
रेको देते, बट आई थिंक थोड़ी और बात कर सकते हैं ऑन द
श्योर
किलर
श्योर श्योर श्योर.
स्पेशली, क्योंकि हिमांशु ने भी अपना पूरा ओपिनियन नहीं दिया, मैंने भी तो.
हाँ हाँ
या
हाँ.
किलर्स ऑफ द फ्लावर मून पर भी अगर कुछ कुछ भी रह गया दिल में जो कहना है तो वो भी कह सकते
आई थिंक किलर्स ऑफ द फ्लावर के बारे में तो वी हैव टॉक्ड अ लॉट.
हैं. या
आई जेन्युइनली फील, मेरे को थोड़ा सा बात करते हुए ही लग रहा था कि फिंचर और स्कॉर्सेसी, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट बोथ ऑफ देयर फिल्म, तो कंपैरिजन आ रहा है मेरे दिमाग में कि फिंचर आई इज मोर लाइक टॉकिंग अबाउट करंट अमेरिका because both are chroniclers of America in a sense, right?
या
And American consciousness and
कल्चर.
culture, Christianity, guilt, redemption, all of that shit, right? Exploitation.
ऑल दैट
And
गुड स्टफ. या
and Fincher also does that. Fincher talks about maybe a darker side of the American psyche, but his films are inherently American, especially like Gone Girl. I don't know The Killer. I have not seen it, so maybe not so much because it's based on a European graphic novel, I think. But in general, his films have been about American culture. तो मुझे ये अच्छा लगता है कि Fincher mostly goes for contemporary era, which I see less and less happening. And I think इस पे भी एक discourse हुआ था of late that more and more people and more filmmakers, especially the greats, are gravitating to the past and trying to find stories from the past. पर मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि जब कोई present times को tackle करता है. What do you guys have like any thoughts on this or anything like, or do you have like a preference? I like to not over rely on history personally, I feel.
सो आई एग्री विद यू एंड आई एग्री विद दैट होल. मेरे को पता है जो डिस्कोर्स की तू बात कर रहा है कि काफी सारे फिल्म मेकर्स रिलाई ऑन. एक बड़ा उसमें मैंने आई थिंक वो आर्टिकल, एक ही आर्टिकल है वो, मैंने भी पढ़ा था कि वो बोलता है ना दैट a lot of filmmakers apparently have an issue with, they don't know what to do about the mobile phone, you know, or the smartphone, because it has solved a lot of the dramatic issues that exist otherwise. कि अगर तुम्हारे पास फोन, तुमको अगर एसटीडी बूथ जाकर बात करना है, a lot more cinematic than तुम अपने फोन से कहीं से भी कॉल कर सकते हो. तुम कहीं पर ट्रैप हो गए तो पहले तुम्हें फोन का सेटिंग, तो फोन में बैटरी कम रहेगी, जैसे ट्रैप में भी वो बड़े पापड़ बेलने पड़ रहे थे उसको मोटवाने को टू जस्ट शो कि वो फोन उसका नहीं चल रहा है. सो ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स मेक pull you out of the cinema a little bit, I feel. And yeah, you're right. And one thing I liked about The Killer, तूने तो नहीं देखी, but it is very, I don't know if this is brand placement or not, but it's very seeped into the real world, you know, which is that वो Amazon से parcel कुछ मंगा रहा है, you know, वो अगर कहीं पर जा रहा है तो वो रियल एक कंपनी है, उसका रेंटल कार ले रहा है, वो स्टारबक्स की कॉफी पी रहा है, तो वो ये इंसान ये दुनिया में ही रहता है. दैट putting that person in that world makes it very interesting, I think, because it is very scary. Like, I think another reason why filmmakers like to go back is because, or generally people also like to go back, hindsight is always this.
हाँ 10 on 10 ना.
Yeah, तो obviously
तुम
अभी
पूरा
तुम आज की कमेंट्री करने से सबकी थोड़ी सी फटती है because you don't know where things are going to go.
तुम सब कुछ प्रोसेस कर चुके हो ना, तुम्हें पता है कि what is the current talk about Native Americans.
क्या कॉमन कंसेंसस क्या है?
हाँ, कॉमन कंसेंसस क्या है. लेकिन जब सोशल नेटवर्क बनी थी तब घंटा लोगों को नहीं मालूम था कि जुकरबर्ग के बारे में क्या डिस्कोर्स होने वाला है अगले 20 साल में. अभी भी हमें नहीं मालूम कि अगले 10 साल में क्या होने वाला है, राइट, विद फकिंग मेटा एंड ऑल दैट बुलशिट. माय पॉइंट बीइंग कि इट्स ऑलवेज बॉल्जियर इन माय ओपिनियन टू कमेंट ऑन द प्रेजेंट, maybe also foolish. Also, the other thing is Fincher embraces the style. He embraces the very form. He has never been a choda for like film form, like or film. He's in fact been a little
डिजिटल पे करता है, सीजीआई करता है.
वो डिजिटल पे कुछ ज्यादा ही है.
पर वो डिजिटल ना, अगर वो डिजिटल भी कर रहा है तो तुमको 50 मूवी के फ्रेम दिखाएंगे, तुमको हमेशा फिंचर का फ्रेम पता होगा. उसका बहुत ही क्लियर सिनेमैटिक स्टाइल है और विजन है. एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू थिंक. उसने क्या किया, आई फील द रीजन व्हाई फिंचर इज सो लव्ड बाय फिल्म folk especially is that he, in a place which seemed to be lacking inspiration, which is digital, you know, which was not seemed to be as authentic, he brought his own authenticity to it. He brought his own creative vision to it, which जिसने, you know, for example, वो बहुत कॉमन बिहाइंड द सीन्स सबने देखा होगा. गॉन गर्ल में वो गमीज फेंक रहा होता है बेन एफ्लेक पर, तो the gummies are CGI, you know. Social Network में you can easily shoot that scene somewhere, but वो CGI करता है कुछ. तो he tries to put it, because उसके themes भी वैसे होते हैं which are a little twisted, so he does something with his, he uses CGI or technology very brilliantly and beautifully. He uses that to make the frame a little more twisted in a sense. That gives you that eerie kind of feeling.
ये पता है, by the way, इसका एक criticism भी है, तुम लोग को शायद ऑनलाइन मिलेगा ये, कि मैंक को उसने फेक फिल्म लुक दिया है. So he's added he's shot it digitally only. हाँ, but उसको grain दिया है, which at times is a little weird. It doesn't look like actual grain. It looks fucking fake. So वहां पे थोड़ा सा I like it. My point is कि it's okay. You will fail sometimes. इसीलिए मुझे एंगली का भी, although fuck all कर रहा है वो अभी आजकल, but I like the fact that he's trying in his own way to sort of whatever is his understanding of digital that he's doing. Like Gemini Mania करके एक फिल्म थी,
देखा था मैंने, बकवास था,
एकदम बकवास फिल्म. एकदम बकवास फिल्म.
Wait, what has I haven't followed his work since Life of Pi.
Ang Lee has tried to embrace this 60 FPS or like higher frame rate shooting.
Oh.
हाँ, so अगर तू Gemini Man देखेगा तुझे लगेगा तू टीवी शो देख रहा है, क्योंकि it doesn't have that 24 FPS
blur नहीं है ना, motion blur नहीं है.
हाँ, it's very slick.
Bro, but it's very like, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है it's headache inducing. It also gives you a bit of a like nausea feeling. The 60 FPS थोड़ा सा कैमरा पैन हुआ ना, you feel like कुछ हो गया है ऐसे, मतलब इतने सारे फ्रेम्स, इतना स्मूथ, इतना it doesn't work for our brain.
Mr. Pink ने कहा है, Mr. Pink also member by the way, has said 60 frames of fuck all per minute. So
जेमिनी मैन तो इतना घटिया, इतना घटिया.
फिल्म भी खराब थी, वो मैं मानता हूँ. वो
मैं मूवी का ही बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं तो मूवी तो शिट थी जेमिनी मैन.
And he's done that with a bunch of there was another war film that he directed जो भी उसने 60 FPS में की. Again, that was a shitty film. But my point is कि I like it when people experiment with that. Even Cronenberg कह रहा हूँ, ये कौन है यार जो जिसने कीमी बनाई है, कीमी, what's his name, Soderbergh. Soderbergh also again hit and miss filmmaker, लेकिन he embraces digital very.
मैं I'll give you a I don't know, an idea, which is that, is it that youth, it's a little weird. Does youth make you cocky about analyzing the era that you're currently living in, and old age makes you more wiser, so you're like,
उल्टा हो रहा है.
नहीं एक सेकंड, मैं कंप्लीट जो हो चुका है उसका उसकी बात करते हैं, because we are more sure of that, because Scorsese was a great commenter of present day in his youth. Taxi Driver was the most, उससे ज्यादा कंटेम्पररी कल्चर के ऊपर 70s में तो कुछ बात नहीं हुई थी. Raging Bull wasn't immediate culture, but it moves up to that point and it kind of talks about that stuff also. After Hours, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, जिसकी मैंने बात की,
Goodfellas, I
of
think.
comedy, Goodfellas kind of close enough, 70s, 90s. So David Fincher की, because we are talking about these two filmmakers in this moment, but David Fincher, Fight Club was, again, Fight Club का जो उसने cultural commentary की, जो he predicted social media, he predicted incel culture, he predicted all these things in a sense.
He also caused it to a certain extent.
He also caused it. Yeah, it was so good that most people, I think, don't even know what. It's one of the most misunderstood films of all time. You know, so so do you think that's
probably true? It's probably true that आप जिस टाइम पे यूथफुल होते हो उसी टाइम की कहानियां बताते रहते हो बार बार. So Scorsese उसी टाइम की, वैसे उस टाइम तो नहीं कहना गलत है.
I think what happens is when you're a like an ambitious director, a young ambitious upcoming director, you have a lot of current stories to tell, because you have enough time that you've given to like inputting information, like you've read a lot of books and whatever, you're following the news and stuff, and you kind of have a bank of stories that you rely on, and there is a limit to it. Like you don't have unlimited stories to tell, right? So the limit is ki you have like 4 or 5 good ones, and after that you have to rely on the past or context. You have to kind of have some sort of a relatable context ki so set in a historic era or a genre or horror, like romance, like these are all things that people rely on after a point, so that the context, there's more context than just like me building from scratch. Do you get it? So a lot of times you don't have to like, so that's what I guess it's happening with even like Kashyap and all, right? They are now struggling to tell a story. The struggle is not to tell a story well.
वैसे हिमांशु भरत ने देखी है, उसकी भी असैसिन के ऊपर ही मूवी है
ब्रो,
कश्यप की।
बता दे मेरे को, कुछ भी बता।
कैनेडी देखी भरत।
अच्छी फिल्म है भाई, अच्छी
क्या
फिल्म।
बात कर रहा है
भाई, जेन्युइनली रिटर्न टू फॉर्म है कश्यप का।
कितना पैसा लिया तूने?
हाँ भाई, कश्यप के पास बहुत पैसा है मुझे देने को, बट बट पॉइंट बीइंग कि अच्छी फिल्म है, इट्स अ गुड फिल्म। आई थिंक यू ऑल विल लाइक इट। सी यू कैन, इफ यू डोंट लाइक इट देन इट वोंट बी लाइक क्या टट्टी बना, ऐसा नहीं है। इट इज अ बेस लेवल गुड फिल्म। उसके ऊपर तुम कह सकते हो हाँ ठीक है, इट्स लाइक फाइन, देयर आर कंट्राइवेंसेस, दे लाइक व्हाट द फक हैपेंड, बट it's a base level good. जो you can't, like, I'm surprised I'm saying this also, but going by his past 2-3 films which have been unwatchable to me at least. I didn't like Dobara at all, and I did completely hated Almost Love and all that. And even at Mami, the short film that I saw of Kashyap was terrible. चार चप्पल हैं, but Kennedy is that level. मतलब अगली आप देखो तो नहीं, जैसे रमन राघव 2.0 is kind of a, you know, you can watch it and there's a lot
but
of.
I really like Raman Raghav 2.0. If it's that, then it's pretty good, dude. Then it
so
is. Yeah.
For me, it is at par in terms of quality with Raman Raghav 2.0. Except the performance. The performance doesn't have that performance.
Just wanna come back to Killer for a moment, though.
Yeah.
Killer पर ये तो just to give you Bharat and those who haven't watched the movie, it's on Netflix, so please do check it out. एक तो मैं बहुत खुश हो गया, शुरू होते ही The Killer had a classic David Fincher intro credit sequence.
Yeah,
So that was cool to watch. The other thing is it is very very similar to, मैंने अपने letterbox के review में लिखा था that it is basically La Samurai. मेलविल की अगर ये क्या नाम था, मेलविल, व्हाट मेलविल,
Jean-Pierre
मेलविल ग्रेट फिल्म मेकर, उसकी ल समुराई करके मूवी थी अबाउट एन असैसिन, एंड दिस इज आल्सो वेरी सिमिलर बट विद अ नरेशन, एंड एंड इट इज आल्सो वेरी सिमिलर टू जॉन विक. तो इमेजिन ल समुराई व्हिच इज अ फुल ऑन आर्ट हाउस इंडी 70s फ्रेंच फिल्म meets a ultra Hollywood blockbuster John Wick kind of action film, kind of in the middle of that. I really liked it. I thought it's a lot about his ideas about the world right now, kind of through this. Even though I don't know, उसने तो लिखी नहीं है. I'm sure he doesn't write, but still वो अपना तो डाल देगा. I don't think उसको कोई रोक रहा है अपने dialogue डालने से. So it's a lot about his meditation on the world right now, kind of. You know, he does refer to the state of the world a little bit. Addresses like things like inequality, addresses things like, I don't know, just comments on the world a lot through the narration. Sometimes it became a little much, but otherwise a very meditative, kind of slow and well-paced film, I would say. And shot very well.
Many of the people have also, especially the critics, have called it like a very self-reflective film on himself. Like it's about Fincher. I don't know if that's what you guys feel.
I think so too. I feel like it's like this is someone who's very close to how Fincher might be, because see Fincher ना हर मूवी में ह्यूमर होता है और बहुत ही ड्राई ह्यूमर होता है और आधा बात ना समझ में नहीं आती इस, and it comes out from his own personal, like his personality, right, which it's not very clear how he is as a person, but overall आप समझ सकते हो. So this movie is an extension of himself. You can say it. But I'll tell you the other side of it, which I feel is why The Killer is really good, is because if you watch like House of Cards, right, the episodes which are directed by him and the episodes which are not directed by him, you can kind of compare them.
Day and night.
And there is a huge difference. The episodes directed by him in Mindhunter and the ones with, so Mindhunter season 1 kind of first episode and last episode he directed, and middle mein he kind of left. There is a difference, you can tell, and the difference is literally in like shots and edits. You know, it's very, मतलब you can just say कि यार ये shot ही गलत है, इसके बाद ये shot नहीं आना चाहिए था, but इस
हिमांशु तुझे याद है तूने और मैंने हाउस ऑफ कार्ड्स देखा था बहुत सालों पहले, and we were literally discussing this because we watched, हमने एक फिंचर का एपिसोड देखा, उसके बाद we watched an episode which was not directed by him.
Yeah,
and
we were like, bro, ये गाड़ी, हाँ देख, एक बेसिक होता है ना कि फ्रेम से गाड़ी एक साइड एंटर कर रही है तो अगले फ्रेम में भी वैसा ही वही डायरेक्शन जा रहा है, Bro, वो सब भी नहीं है हाउस ऑफ कार्ड्स में. At the moment David Fincher is not the
What the
director,
fuck?
all that
Chaos.
shit is also not there.
I think he's over exaggerating a little bit कि ऐसा नहीं कि एक गाड़ी इधर से आ रही है फिर वो इधर से जा रही है. It's just that the composition of those shots is there's a very big difference.
But Mindhunter में मुझे
So,
वो नहीं लगा था.
मुझे भी नहीं लगा honestly. मुझे House of Cards because हमने साथ में देखा था मुझे याद है.
नहीं
But yeah,
you watch ना Mindhunter first season का first episode and last episode अलग है, and then middle के episodes are directed by other people,
so
and Mindhunter season 2 completely directed by him, mostly directed by him. So
which
that's why
is
season 2 is better in my opinion. It goes very crazy because
Mostly
it has
directed by him or mostly directed by others?
by him.
by him. So
Which is why he got tired, na? Which is why तो he said
Yeah.
Netflix होगी भाई बहुत हो गया अभी. Kind of. I think वो both sides था कि कोई देख नहीं रहा था, हम लोग ही देख रहे थे.
हाँ.
सिनेमा चौदह देख रहे थे कल ही. एक बहुत अच्छा इंस्टाग्राम पेज है, before I forget, सिनेमा की चौदह करी बहुत अच्छा इंस्टाग्राम पेज है, which I really liked. उसके memes काफी बढ़िया. And but yeah, coming back to the killer, I read these reviews of that this is Fincher talking about his own life and his work or whatever. मुझे genuine, and I read that even before the movie. मुझे feel ही नहीं हुआ, मतलब that could be completely my oversight and probably is. But I could not. I frankly thought it was, as a film, it was more. Acha, in once, now that I say it to you, I मेरे को आ रहा है because it is about a guy who is a perfectionist. He's very, very. Uska living in the assassin in the movie, he lives and breathes perfection. But in the अगर तुम movie देखो, spoiler नहीं है ये, kind of spoiler है, half spoiler है, which is that he keeps fucking up. Okay, he keeps fucking up. You can come back, Bharat. So he keeps, so basically that kind of shows you and how that gets to him, all of those things. So maybe it is a little bit about him, and even the conversations he has within the movie. The movie has very sparsely placed dialogue, तो ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं उसमें. But जब भी बातें होनी तो कुछ ना कुछ it's always like the world is not being revealed to you fully, and it is a similar world to John Wick only, कि वो एक organization है जो मतलब assassins for hire kind of धंधा है or whatever. So those kind of things were very interesting to me. Maybe I should also rewatch it if that is what a lot of people got out of it. But yeah, I thought overall a very, very well made film. There are, मेरे को इससे इनफैक्ट रेयर विंडो की याद आ रही थी, क्योंकि रेयर विंडो में भी इसका जो ओपनिंग जो 10 मिनट लंबा जो सीन है, it's about him setting up for an assassination happening across the road.
I saw those 10 minutes.
हाँ करेक्ट. हाँ तो तुझे पता है जो मैं जिसके लिए तूने अपना कान बंद किया. तो या तो बेसिकली वो उसके लिए सेटअप करा, एंड दैट रियली रिमाइंडेड मी ऑफ रेयर विंडो बिकॉज इवन हिचकॉक हैड वेरी पेन्सटेकिनली. तुम लोगों ने वो बिहाइंड द सीन्स सेट का फुटेज देखा है रेयर विंडो का? ये पूरा उन लोगों ने बनाया था, वो सारे विंडोज, सारे घरों के विंडोज एंड ऑल दैट. सो इट सीम्ड अ लॉट लाइक दैट इन द डिजिटल sort of era. Again, would go with Avinash's theory that he's like the new Hitchcock, a little bit. So yeah, I really enjoyed the film. It is Fincher, so at the very least you will get to see something visually very striking. Story wise I agree ki thoda matlab it is not a Gone Girl, or it is not like,
I have a feeling that we'll appreciate it better after a couple of years.
Yeah, maybe
it's possible because I feel like आजकल काफी सारी फिल्में आ रही है, हम लोग अभी अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर रहे. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि खुफिया भी हमने अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया.
I agree. I like
Kareena Kapoor and this one.
नहीं
that is जाने
विशाल भारद्वाज.
वो सेम ही हफ्ते में आई थी नेटफ्लिक्स पर.
हाँ, बट एक्चुअली अच्छी फिल्म है खुफिया भी.
मुझे अच्छी लगी और मैंने देखा कि किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ा. एंड
हाँ, एकदम ठंडा सा उसका वो, इट वाज लाइक आई डोंट नो व्हाई, बट आई काइंड ऑफ लाइक, इट्स अ गुड फिल्म. इट्स ओके, इट्स अ माइनर. I
feel like it's very, very hard for us to be impressed at this point, but they are at their good level, and yet we are ignoring. I have a feeling that even Oppenheimer will get even more appreciation in the future.
भाई Oppenheimer को बहुत
इससे ज़्यादा क्या appreciation चाहिए भाई? क्या
इसको तो बहुत मिला
आगे personally.
Dude, people I think will call it amongst one of his bests.
I do. It's good.
But I get what I think what Himanshu is also trying to say is कि, और ये तो मुझे भी लगता है, both as participant Bharat and as person watching, कि the whole idea of OTTs and the way they जैसे फट से जैसे ऐसा करके जो movies निकालते हैं, movies और shows, it's just taken the full charm out of you are no longer the, मतलब अगर विशाल भारद्वाज का movie आया है इस जब हम लोग grow up कर रहे थे, अगर उसका तो it is there in your consciousness for a while.
An event.
it is an event, even for however minor an event it might be for very specific niche people, it is still an event. Now that whole charm is only gone. तुम कुछ भी आ जाए, अगर 2 दिन बाद कुछ और exactly वही चीज आने वाली है in a different shade, so I think it does take something out. Do you guys feel that? Do you guys think OTTs are in a sense killing that charm?
There is actually a, मतलब, it's not overwhelming. It's actually, मतलब, the number of content has now started underwhelming you. It's shit. It's all crap, and you can't watch it anymore. Half the shit. So the thing is, good shit, na, good stuff gets mixed in with really terrible shit, and you can actually ratio it out. Ki 90% of it is bad, and then there's 10% which is very good, and that 10% you will not watch it because you are bombarded with 90% shit.
इससे मुझे याद है, हाँ सॉरी भरत, नहीं तू बोल.
I also think that somewhere as a filmmaker you might be less enthusiastic about making films any longer, because the space that Vishal Bhardwaj or Dibakar Banerjee or even Zoya Akhtar to an extent, although she's doing her own thing,
आर्चीज का आपको पता है मूवी आ रही है आर्चीज नाम की, हाँ,
and Kashyap, they kind of had that space for a little brief period, which was not fully mainstream but not fully artistic also, art space, matlab art film vibes. And that space has shrunk, especially for theatrical. So I think they are finding themselves at a, and also politically things are not like as free as they used to be.
चल politically तो एक बात
वो तो अलग ही बात हो गई है,
हाँ, but एक मैं इससे related point, but then do you think films, I feel like there is enough of a yearning कि ये चीज थोड़ी cyclical है, क्योंकि ऐसे 12th fail आई है, I haven't watched it, but everyone I know has really liked it. I liked the trailer. Also, Vikas Divakirti makes his Bollywood debut, one of the craziest things to happen. तुम्हें पता है ना, Professor Vikas Divakirti sir. So yeah, तो मैंने अपना बहुत ज्यादा टाइम बर्बाद किया है इन वाचिंग IAS इंटरव्यूज. बहुत मजा आता है भाई, जो नींद नहीं आ रही होती रात को ये देखता हूँ मैं.
Is it the same guy?
Funny. It is Dr. Vijay Chauhan, Vijendra Chauhan or something. He's a Hindi professor at DU. Very cool guy. And Vikas Divakirti also, I think वो पहले करता था Vikas Divakirti.
दो लोग हैं, एक जो कहते हैं ना बैठने का तरीका थोड़ा
casual. That is Vijender sir.
That is the other one. This Mr. Kirti whatever. वो हंसते रहते हैं पूरे टाइम.
He's a very smile. He reminds me a lot of मेरे एक accounts teacher होते थे. Shout out Dinesh sir if you're watching. but he was also very similar. Like he was a very nice guy, and he was a very, always kind of smiling professor, and he was a good teacher also. So yeah.
Yeah, Napoleon के reviews आए, and it's saying that it's a very funny movie.
मेरे को तो ये ले गाय रिची, ये ले देख ले ये, ठीक है, गाय रिची सॉरी,
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
नहीं, but Ridley Scott की movie
Guy Ritchie catching strays, dude, like that. Sorry, ये Ridley Scott ये आपके लिए.
नहीं, but ऐसे मत बोल. देख, Ridley Scott Last Duel अच्छी, हमें
ठीक लगी थी.
खाली Last Duel ही अच्छी लगी है मेरे को, उसकी बाकी और कुछ नहीं अच्छी लगी.
भाई उसने
Gladiator मुझे पसंद नहीं लगी है. उसकी एक बहुत ही घटिया मूवी मैं थिएटर में देखी थी.
तुझे Gladiator नहीं पसंद आई? What?
भाई हिस्ट्री के नाम पे इस वक्त बेचा है मेरे को. So,
this is like okay.
Also मुझे वो नहीं पसंद.
Martian, dude, Martian.
मैंने Martian आधी देखी.
Bro, but अच्छी ठीक थी, and I have a feeling that Napoleon is going to be at the very least, people are saying it's funny. Then that's the only thing that I needed to hear.
You know what he's shown in
तो थी ना Gucci.
House of Gucci. And उसने ये भी बनाई थी. क्या था वो in Egypt, कुछ तो उसने something of the gods.
Gods of Egypt.
क्या नाम थी उसमें? Christian Bale था, and it was like a historical film.
Kingdom of the Gods.
भाई इतनी घटिया मूवी यार. ब्लेड रनर की अभी लोग बात कर रहे हैं, तो ठीक है यार, ब्लेड रनर ठीक है, होता है भाई. अगर आप 50 साल में 2 बार अगर
ऐसे मत बोल,
ऐसे नहीं होता. मेरे को अगर give me Scorsese or give me that is what I say. Ridley Scott is सस्ता Scorsese.
Bro, क्या एज है?
गंदी सड़कों में घूमने वाला Scorsese is Ridley Scott.
What is Scorsese's age?
थोड़ा ज्यादा बोल रहा हूँ.
I think they're the same age, similar age, क्योंकि 80s के बाद क्या ही age?
नहीं, बताना मैं कंपेयर करने दूंगा.
Kingdom of Heaven is a good watch, Mr. Pink बोल रहा है. How dare you?
82 होगा, I think. Mr.
Ridley Scott 85 है. Scorsese कितने का है?
81
80 81 कुछ.
80 81 अभी 80 साल का हुआ भाई, 80 का हुआ।
अच्छा 5 साल का डिफरेंस है, बिकॉज 5 साल में बहुत कुछ चेंज हो जाता है दिमाग।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, 80 के बाद सब सेम
उसने
है।
पता है क्या दिखाया, उसने दिखाया कि ये नेपोलियन पिरामिड्स पर बॉम्ब
गेम
चला रहा है,
कर
कैनन।
रहा होगा क्या?
तो ये
क्या
लोगों ने
होगा?
बोला कि ये, ऐसा मेरे को नहीं मालूम, मेरे को, मैं थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा है नेपोलियन के बारे में, उतना नहीं पढ़ा है। किसी ने बोला कि ये उसने कभी नहीं किया था, ये क्या मतलब हुआ, आप क्या दिखा रहे हो सर? तो he got pissed off, he was like कि he's anyone who's criticizing his film, वो बोल रहा है कि no, go get a life। भाई तो you get a life, तूने 80,000 लोगों को खड़ा कर दिया in costumes to play a historical character like this, you get a life। fucking you're making a movie, you don't have a life
भाई
firstly,
लेकिन बट इफ इट
okay।
मेक्स फॉर अ ग्रेट फकिंग
या ना, तू
डू इट
तू
डूड।
उसने
इट्स
बोला
फॉर द
आई वांटेड टू
ऑडियंस।
शो कि उसने फटाफट इजिप्ट को कैप्चर कर लिया। भाई ऐसे तू बता, इंडिया को और कोई टेक ओवर करेगा तो साले जाके तू ताजमहल पे बॉम्ब बॉम्ब गिरवा देगा तू? ये क्या मतलब हुआ?
मजा
अगर
तो
कोई
है, मजा
हिस्टोरिकल
नहीं आएगा।
मॉन्यूमेंट है, उसका उसके ऊपर बॉम्ब गिरा, भाई तो कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना ऊपर नीचे, ये क्या मतलब हुआ? सॉरी,
अरे
मैं
देखो
थोड़ा
फन होगा।
इस
बायस्ड था आई
पार्ट
थिंक।
को ये भाई थोड़ी at the age of 85 you'll also make these kind of movies, bro. You'll also
At the
try
age of
to
85, I'll be very happy if I'm making movies or if I'm alive
इफ आई एम
to begin with।
वॉकिंग।
तो कोई मतलब, ओके ठीक है भाई, सॉरी रिडली स्कॉट सर, आई एम वेरी सॉरी, मैं आई टेक माय वर्ड्स बैक। हो गया बस, क्या हो गया इससे?
अरे सुनो गाइस,
क्या हो
मुझे
जाएगा
जाना है,
इससे?
आई नीड टू
ठीक है,
बाउंस
ओके ओके, इट इज एक्चुअली, इफ गो
अ
वी बीन
बिट
गोइंग फॉर
लेट।
लाइक 1 hour 40 minutes।
मुझे अभी बैठ के लिखना है भाई।
ओ फक।
recommendation कर दे कुछ फास्ट
हाँ
पेस।
हाँ, रेकोज चलो क्विक।
रेकोस, लेट्स डू क्विक रेकोस।
क्विक
व्हाट इज योर
रेकोज तो
रेको
बोलो ना फिर
भारत?
कुछ।
मैं बताता
भारत,
हूँ,
हाँ।
हाँ
बट मेरा रेको बहुत ही मतलब डिफरेंट है। आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स बेसिकली आई बीन binging One Piece. I told you guys, right?
हाँ, यू डिड।
And I'm at like the 100th episode and 100 need 120 or something.
सॉरी,
And
किसका?
it's
वन पीस।
basically One Piece, right?
वन पीस, हाँ राइट।
And I realized that, bro, I think I'll finish it the way I'm watching it. It's like 1,000 something episodes and I'm at 100 something. And मेरे को समझ में आ गया कि it's like for me and I'll probably finish the whole goddamn thing. And I really highly recommend it to you guys also because
ये
कहाँ पे?
it's basically the storytelling, the world building is probably the most crazy world building I've ever seen. And
वाओ।
I've tried my level best to read books. There's a Lord of the Rings, I've Harry Potter, whatever. Like we read all this, right? We like the world building, and you kind of get sucked into this, right? Bro, One Piece has more intense world building.
रियली?
वे
I
मोर, वे
really
मोर।
think it's
इट्स
it's
दैट पायरेट वन राइट?
yeah,
या
it's very deep. The story is very मतलब well thought out.
तूने डाउनलोड किए क्या हजारों एपिसोड?
नहीं बेसिकली
वीपीएन?
नहीं
नेटफ्लिक्स यूएस पर है बाय द वे,
no
इफ
no so
एनीवन हैज
I
वीपीएन।
I found out that Internet Archive पे first
या
500 episodes free है because it's old, so
या
it's free.
ओह,
Yeah, so I'm just downloading legally, like,
फ्रॉम
and
इंटरनेट आर्काइव्स ना?
yeah, and then after that I'll probably pay somehow watch it.
ये सेम चीज मैंने हिमांशु बोली थी वन पीस के बारे में ऑन द पॉडकास्ट ओनली लॉन्ग अगो, बिकॉज़ आई वाज रीडिंग, मेरे को भी सबने हवा बनाया हुआ था दैट इट्स लाइक
वन पीस।
यू नो
लंबा है,
सो मेनी
ये है वो है।
एपिसोड, सो मेनी
ब्रो
बुक्स।
15 मिनट के तो एपिसोड होते हैं।
भाई वो बुक्स जो है ना, जो मांगा वाली जो बुक्स है
हम्म।
हाँ।
ब्रो, दोस आर लाइक, आई रेड लाइक 15 वॉल्यूम्स, मैंने 10 तो एक ही दिन में पढ़ ली।
ए वन सेकेंड, आर
मतलब
यू
वो,
गाइस रीडिंग इट और वाचिंग इट?
मैं रीड कर रहा था, हिमांशु देख रहा था।
So there's manga, there's anime, and then there's live action. And basically, the guy who's making it, his name is Oda,
ओह
and he
ब्रो, क्या नाम, क्या, आइचिरो ओदा, आइचिरो ओदा इज
Aichiro,
द गाय,
विच
या
वन
हाँ।
इज बेटर?
बिग फैन सर।
तो मैंने क्या किया, मैं अपना बताता हूँ। मैंने लाइव एक्शन देखा, जो फर्स्ट सीजन है 8 एपिसोड्स, दैट्स एग्जैक्टली 47 chapters in the anime, and then from 47 onwards I started continued watching anime.
That is about 90 or so chapters in the manga। तो वही है, मांगा भी भाई तू 5 मिनट में, 10 मिनट में एक पढ़ लेगा। जनरली हम लोग की रीडिंग स्पीड फिर भी
Bro,
अच्छी है,
but
तो
Oda is
पढ़
so
लेगा फटाफट।
fast. He's so fast that the people who are coloring the manga is basically black and white. So the people who are coloring are
Oh,
far behind him. Then the people who are making the anime are far behind Oda, who's basically
oh,
drawing it. ठीक है?
Also he's a fairly young guy, he's still in his 40s only, क्योंकि he started writing this I think when he was 19 or 20 or something।
Yeah.
what the
तो
hell?
हाँ, तो 20 साल से यही कर रहा है। And the other thing I really like about this guy, this is the only guy जो Netflix को हूल दे सकता है apart from Fincher, which is that उसने Netflix को बोला था while making the live action Bharat कि this will not be screened until I approve every single episode, मतलब full on. तो because उसने देखा था कि इन लोगों ने Netflix ने लाइव मांगा एनिमे के लाइव एक्शन के क्या कचरा किया इन लोगों ने. हाँ करेक्ट, गुड मोल मत भरत. तो वही चीज, तो इसीलिए ही गेव लाइक हिज फाइनल लिस्टिंग कि मेरे अप्रूवल के बिना कुछ नहीं जा रहा ऊपर. तो दैट्स प्रीटी कूल. आई आल्सो रिस्पेक्ट दैट.
I'll download it, dude. I will watch it now.
तू व्हाट भाई
तू
पढ़
एक
ले.
काम कर.
इट्स बेटर टू
नहीं, पहले लाइव एक्शन खत्म कर दे. 8 एपिसोड है.
वो नहीं देखे,
मैं बताऊं
नहीं
क्यों?
देखेगा.
मेरे को नहीं देखना लाइव एक्शन.
मैं बताता हूँ क्यों. मैं बताता हूँ क्यों.
तो पढ़, मांगा पढ़ भाई.
लाइव एक्शन ना, मैंने एनीमे भी फिर वापस रिवॉच किया एंड मेरा ओपिनियन है कि यू नीड टू रन पास्ट द फर्स्ट 50 एपिसोड्स बिकॉज दे आर सेटिंग अप द वर्ल्ड लाइक.
वो तब तक खाली उसका क्रू सेटअप हो रहा है
भाई. देखो
हाँ.
मेरा प्रॉब्लम समझो तुम लोग. तो मेरे को लाइव एक्शन नहीं देखना बिकॉज लाइव एक्शन है, क्योंकि इट्स नॉट द ओरिजिनल.
नहीं, बट लाइव एक्शन अच्छा है.
अच्छा है.
ये लाइव एक्शन अडेप्टेशन ठीक है, नॉट बैड.
I've also watched it. It is good, but again,
it's the problem is that the animes have so much like it's.
मेरे को मंगा मुझे इस पे नहीं पढ़ना. मुझे इस पे नहीं, लैपटॉप स्क्रीन या किसी भी बैकलिट स्क्रीन में पढ़ने में बहुत मेरा
नहीं बट किंडल पे भी नहीं कर पाएगा, तो महंगा मत कर. If you don't want to, if you are not into it. Are we all mispronouncing manga? That's the problem.
नहीं, I was cringing at भाई. मैंने फोन पे पढ़े हैं, मैंने फोन पर सारे पढ़े हैं.
तो भाई वो
it is very easy to read it. It is very easy.
नहीं बट एनिमे में घुस, बट पहले लाइव एक्शन देख ले. लाइव एक्शन देखेगा ना तो पूरा वर्ल्ड समझ में आ जाएगा.
तो हिमांशु का रिकमेंडेशन था, ये सारी बात शुरू हुई थी. हिमांशु का रिकमेंडेशन है, आई बिलीव इट्स कॉल्ड वन पीस. भरत आपका रिकमेंडेशन?
यार मेरा अभी कुछ रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है, सॉरी, बिकॉज आई हैव नॉट रियली डन एनीथिंग.
कुछ तो भाई बहुत टाइम हो, 1 महीना हो गया पॉडकास्ट को, एक्सेप्ट फॉर बलराम वाला एपिसोड. आल्सो टेल अस यार, व्हाट डू यू गाइस थिंक ऑफ द शूट एंड द प्रॉपर स्टूडियो सेटअप, एंड हम कौन से गेस्ट को बुलाएं, आप थोड़ा टैग करो या कुछ कमेंट करो नीचे प्लीज. कम ऑन. एंड या भरत, नो रिकमेंडेशन, नथिंग एट ऑल.
नथिंग फॉर नाउ यार.
वॉच्ड और एनीथिंग?
कुछ होगा तो बताता हूँ.
तो बताना आदित्य.
यार मैंने ये बुक एक पढ़ रहा हूँ मैं अभी, 100 पेज ही पढ़े, which is basically this book called Emperor of Rome by Mary Beard. She's a historian, and this is basically just it takes like about तेरी भी beard है ना? Very good. Nice one यार, very cool. Comedy, good comedy. Come here for the best comedy content on YouTube India. So this book is about different emperors of Rome. It takes different emperors of Rome and looks at them from a proper full holistic perspective, that how historically the people would have seen that person, what that person's intentions were. So it is not a proper chronological history of Rome. तुमको अगर पहले से थोड़ा आइडिया तो चाहिए रहेगा इसको पढ़ने के लिए. थोड़ा सा academic है, but it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of crazy stories about Roman emperors. मतलब वो कुछ भी किसी को बोरी में बांध के, सांप के साथ बोरी में बांध के फेंक देते थे रिवर में. लाइक those kind of things. तो मुझे तो ये सब देख के बहुत मजा आता है, पढ़ के बहुत मजा आता है. सो या अटैक ऑन टाइटन की एंडिंग की बात भी कर लो प्लीज यार. मैं देखा नहीं अभी तक, मुझे देखना. I have just that left.
Aishwarya has watched. I mean, my wife Aishwarya.
She called me and told me this is out.
She's only been like not talking about it.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is also great. It's the most, I feel the reason why it has caught on the most with outside audience, उसमें सबसे Attack on Titan में आज तक मैं जितने भी anime देखे हैं, और मतलब उसमें सबसे कम बचकांड गिरी है उसमें. मतलब otherwise a lot of animes turn out to be very childish randomly.
So One Piece
में सबसे कम
फिर Attack on Titan for somebody like an anime noob.
If you're anime noob के लिए Attack on Titan is more, or actually both of them, but Attack on Titan will be a lot more interesting, I feel, to you because it's more political.
Okay. Yeah. Himanshu disagrees.
नहीं, मैंने Attack on Titan देखा नहीं. मैं the way I'm watching One Piece now, मुझे लगता है 2-3 महीने तो मैं और कुछ नहीं देखने वाला. ऐसा फीलिंग आ रही है अभी, क्योंकि मैं हर दिन बैठ के यही देख रहा हूँ.
Okay, I'll put it to you like this. One Piece is like a proper, like a very good soap opera in a sense, you know. And Attack on Titan is like your OTT ka series like 10 episodes
okay,
types, वैसा
okay,
type है वो, थोड़ा
okay.
वैसा factor. So yeah. Anyway, I think that calls an end to this episode. Thank you guys for watching. 32 people still here. And yeah, please like this stream. तुमने like किया क्या इस stream को? बिल्कुल भी हाँ किया. Thank you. So thank you for liking the stream and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. There is one of you who is commenting. I have a complaint. You know, after every stream हमारा subscriber एक बढ़ता है और एक बंदा तो कम हो ही जाता है after every stream. So somebody is subscribing just to comment. कि comments are only for subscribers and then unsubscribing. तो ये चिंदी हरकतें मत करो please. Just subscribe and help us grow a little bit. And yeah, follow us on Instagram on Disscontent also. बाकी सब खुद देख लो. चलो, bye bye.
चलो, bye.